sound.
Uh-oh, I forgot to turn on my microphone. Whoops. First one in 5 streams. All right, let's redo that really quick. Hi, I'm Goknak. I'm the project lead and development lead and worst OBS user in NA. This is our 5th Q&A stream. A little bit hectic. We got a lot of last minute problems that popped up, but we got an exciting stream, I think. Back again to answer some of your guys' burning questions and show off more of the gameplay and more progress that we've been doing under the hood. And yeah, I'm joined with some new faces. We got some of the same faces too. And yeah, let's I guess just go through the list. You already know who I am. We'll start with BLT.
Yeah, hi, I'm BLT. I'm basically the Linux developer for Momentum Mod, but I also do general development stuff that comes up.
And then
Should I go next? Just down the Discord list?
Yeah, down the Discord list.
Hi, I'm False. I've been around for a while. If you haven't seen me, I'm the 3D model or 3D artist and also campaign lead for our jump campaign.
Hey, I'm Tom, also Fingerprints. I'm doing story and texturing and currently lots of UI panorama work.
Oh, hi, I'm Granis, I'm here.
Alright, howdy, I'm Shegets. I do moderation and a random help whenever I can.
And we also have Vortex, who doesn't have a mic right now, but he's here, he's chilling.
Yeah, I'm Pat. I'm XP man. You call me Patrick. And I'm a mapper, currently working on the tutorial levels and stuff. Also do web development occasionally.
I'm Zofa, act as the production designer, helping out with the campaign and art direction for the campaign, as well as the environment art.
Heck yeah. So that's everybody. We're going to go ahead and get into our first question here. Just for those of you new to the stream, we take all of the questions asked in our Q&A live channel on our Discord, and we answer them live. So if you have any questions you want to see us answer here, ask them there. We do try to reserve some time at the end to also answer some questions asked during the stream, but definitely try to get them in to the Discord so we can prepare to answer them and stuff. But all right, let's go ahead to the first question here.
Our first question is by Linguiste asking, will any third-party software be licensed by you, for example, Spicy's strafe analyzer? And if not, are there any plans on deep real-time strafe or movement analyst tools for the bunny hop nerds?
Right, so yeah, very good question. Thank you, Linguiste. Thank you so much for this question. Yes, so the fun fact about Spicy's strafe analyzer is, yeah, he actually has a fork of the 087 public repo, adding it to that. So that was kind of how we wanted to introduce it, was to have Spicy implement his strafe analyzer in that public repo and then bring that on into our closed source chaos repo. So in particular for that, yes, we would love to have Spicy's awesome work that he's done on his strafe analyzers there. And if we aren't able to get that, we would love to have otherwise some strafe or movement analysis tools. I think it's pretty important, maybe not for noobs, but for people trying to get better and see exactly where they're maybe messing up their strafes, messing up their jumps or something like that. So having those kinds of tools, absolutely, we'd love to have them. And yeah, it's just a matter of, for Spicy's tools, it's a matter of free time. If he's getting stuck or anything, asking for help from the devs. We want it, so we'll help Spicy in any way, in any capacity that we can help him. But yeah, did anybody have any input on that?
I mean, just in general, for the first part of will any third-party tool be licensed by you, I would just say depends on what licensing means, because at least currently, we don't really have any ways or plans to really provide like a big development kit or something where you would just we would just implement like a strafe analysis tool like on the current build. That's just a bit out of scope, at least for now. And I mean, if it's like PREG for TF2 or something like that, where like Valve signed the code, so it could be actually used in TF2. That's just like no real mechanism for that. So like the real only way is for people to actually provide their code, and then we have the option to add it to the game. But there's like no real other pathway, at least planned currently.
Yeah. And I should note too, we are trying our best to integrate with also other libraries as well. So another integration too is SVR by Crashfort. Crash is working on an API for us to be able to just hook into and then expose via UI elements in the game. And the other thing to keep in mind is we are also moving off of VGUI, right? So like the 087 repo doesn't have Panorama, so if there's things that require UI, it's going to require a bit more back and forth on what would be desired to be implemented visually, right? So for strafe analysis tools, we could use the lower level kind of like, it should still apply, but for things like Crashfort SVR integration, we would basically be writing our own custom UI to wrap around and use it. It's just depends on the cooperation with the original kind of software that we want to integrate. Another third-party software tool I think is HLAE, Half-Life After Effects. The current status on that is because we moved to Chaos and we're 64-bit now. They don't have a hooking module in place that allows HLAE to like hook into Chaos games. So we're gonna have to wait for them to do that part of their work, but any other help that we could give, to help have HLAE work, which jump editors use, basically just people that make montages, right? Having that custom camera support is pretty helpful there. So we'll see how that pans out though. If it doesn't work, we still have plans for things like the replay like tools that you can add cameras and stuff. So we can have that like level of like, I guess, in-game, right, customization that you can do for like playback of replays, but we'll see. Yeah. Any other input for that question?
Yeah, like as far as third-party software is, like if it affects gameplay, we just want it in the game, so everyone's on the same playing field, right?
Yes.
Like no one has an advantage just because they know about a software that someone made, and we just said, yeah, it's okay to use it. We just want it straight up in the game, so it's accessible and readily available for everyone.
Yes. Precisely. Shipped with the game there by default, right? Taking away that secret plugin or the secret knowledge around specific things, right? Having it just be there for everybody. That includes task tools as well, by the way. That's previous streams have talked way more in depth about it, but that also includes Batman's task tools. We will be licensing those and bringing them in as well. So, cool. Any other input? All right, let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Linguiste, for that question.
Our next question is Dark asking a follow-up question to the previous question. Will the replay format be documented so that people can write third-party tools to analyze them?
Yes. So that's actually what the replay refactor is starting with. We're figuring out exactly how we want to lay out the data. So it's going to be definitely different from the open source code, but the documentation should be enough. I know Trackmania has like a wiki like page about all of the different replay formats, so we'll probably have like a docs page or something on our end that explains exactly the format. People can parse them and have them render in some other program or something if they want to do that. Absolutely, I think that that opens the doors for a lot of data analysis too that can be pulled off. Though keep in mind that we still want to have value in our platform, right? Like we want stats, we want this analysis in our platform so people don't have to go to a third-party website, and potentially upload all their runs or something somewhere else. We would still love to have the replay format be open, though, because I don't know what would potentially be used. And if it leads to something like stats and analysis, we can incorporate it too. So that's another aspect of that licensing, right? So, yeah. So, great question. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be open. It's the first thing we're going to be doing because we have to figure out what we want to store in there. And then it's just a matter of opening that that internal documentation up.
Yeah, it should be like what to expect would be probably like at least something like the header file of at least like the file, the structure itself, like pretty similar to what you can see if you go to the VDC page on like the BSP format, where like the different sections and what each value is supposed to be and which type it has, just so you could pretty quickly like write a parser for it and then work on the data.
Yeah. Any other input for this question? All right, we'll move on. Thank you so much, Dark, for that question.
I'm probably going to butcher this name. Disres?
Something like that, yeah.
Asking, will there be something similar to Trackmania's Cup of the Day?
So we did answer this in a previous stream. Yes, we would love to have the concept of kind of temporal tasks. I also talked more about this on the forums. We want to have something that can encourage people to come back and play specific content. So we'll have challenges and achievements, which are more like grand scope sort of views of like, you know, like the achievements will be more fun like tasks to do, and then the challenges and milestones will be more tracking what you're doing and like giving you a sense of progression on top of just beating maps and getting better times. And then we'll have the temporal tasks, which are daily challenges, daily tasks, weekly challenges and tasks, and then this kind of level of competitiveness with like having daily tournaments or like just daily little like, oh, go and contribute to this kind of like cup or this like like this event, right? I guess that event would probably be a better kind of categorical like term for it. So events would be new map tournaments or something that we've talked about before as well. We would love to have like if new maps drop, because anybody like there's no limit to how many people can play a new map, so it could be potentially hundreds if not thousands of people playing this new map that came out. We could have like this little event around it of like everybody try out this new map for the next week and we'll see who gets like the best times and like reward people like bracket style or something, like something like that where we could have like promotion around new content or even old content, maybe content that's not being played that much. We could try to promote maps that people just haven't really bothered touching in a while and stuff, and we want to see more competition, or maybe like the world record only traded a couple times over the last 3 months or something, and we want more competition around that. And then we could like even look at like, oh, like should we have more of a pro cup sort of thing of like these are tier 4 through 6 or like 6 through 10 maps where it's like these really difficult maps and we're just trying to see how many people can actually go through and complete them like fully like that. So lots of really fun potential, because it's again not tied to servers or anything like that. Like it running, like the event happening could be ignored entirely if you don't care, or if you can't do it, right? If it's a pro cup or something and you don't want to do a tier 4 through 6 map, we could do instead this kind of like entry level kind of like try out this map, try to get it above a par time, and you'll get like a bonus XP or bonus or maybe even cosmetics if we want to go that route of like it's a really important event, something like that. You can get like a little cosmetic for participating in it. But yeah, we absolutely want to bring people back to try new things every day if they're playing every day. Otherwise, giving them a sense of something to play every day if they're kind of bored of maybe grinding a map or something. Another thing to keep in mind is that we don't want people to miss out. So like like if we're doing any exclusives, it won't be daily. It would probably be more of like a monthly sort of season thing of like you play maybe a couple of maps and get above par times on a couple of maps for throughout the month or something, and you can get a cosmetic that way. I think there's that balance of like exclusivity versus like having something fun to try to go for. That's just this extra thing on top of like just playing the game, like playing a map that you want to play. So yeah, so hopefully that answers that. Did anybody have any extra input for this?
I think.
You go.
Okay, I think potentially it could be a great way, not for certain, but to drop a new map. Like, here's a new map. Everyone can get a chance to try it together for the first time and see who gets a good time.
Yeah.
And that'd be a very interesting way because, as it is right now, most map drops are somebody made a forum post, they got 2 likes, or you just add it to the map selector, and that's not that fun,
Right.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna have so many maps, and like everyone is spoiled for choice. Will be spoiled for choice. So just getting like the same people all playing the same map at once is good, just for social interaction. People have public lobbies open on those maps, and whatnot. So, because otherwise, the map pool is going to be pretty spread out, where a lot of people will just never be on the same map as their friends or whatever, because there's the 100 surf maps and whatnot. So, yeah,
right. Yeah,
that point sounded smarter in my head.
Yeah.
Just agree.
No, you're right. It's a chance for people to have a community and to actually come together, and they're on their separate grinds or whatever, and it's a chance to come and play together. It's fun.
Yeah.
You're right.
Are we going to do that with playlists at all? Are we going to do playlist challenges or just single maps?
I mean, it depends on the challenge, right? So if it's like a week-long thing, it'll probably be multiple steps, just like you have to do multiple things in it. We're going to be taking a look at different games and how they approach their kind of... I don't really like the idea of season pass because we're not trying to sell anything, but we might have still seasons, and the seasons will have challenges. So, like, if anything, it'll be just, like, familiar to season pass, but it's like just purely through the game. Like, there's no way to pay us for anything around it, so it's just playing it. Yeah.
Or like the month-long Surf Forbidden Tomb challenge, where each week you play a different Forbidden Tomb map.
There are like 7 of them, right?
I think there's 4, right?
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yeah, it would work well.
We should make 31 of them and make it a month-long challenge. No,
do like a sort of advent calendar.
You get a cosmetic every day that you beat the one for the day. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of really fun things we can do, and like that's like I'm really excited to talk about events more. I don't know, I forget if we have a question about events in particular, because like the way that our multiplayer works is like we could have massively multiplayer like asynchronous events where we have almost like a giant it's almost like a raid, right? A raid on this giant like boss map or something, where you have like literally hundreds to thousands of players racing at the same time, in a way where it's like you could just have the lobby system sort of just use the roaming lobby system, and like if you're doing this challenge, you're going to be like grouped with other people in the challenge, and like you're just seeing other people going for these like times and stuff, and having maybe like lobby leaderboards so you can see like how people are doing and spec them and stuff like that. And it's just like the amount of potential around just not being limited to 64 people at most, right, in a server. Oh man, like I'm really excited to see like what kind of events could come out of it, because we could have our own little mini Fortnite event sort of things, right, where we have like maps that have special like ties in with special entities in the game that do things, right? So man, I'm pumped. I'm really pumped to see
the Fortnite route.
Okay, true. We won't have Marshmallow playing, in the game, but like,
yeah,
we could do some fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm excited to like actually test out the lobby system with that many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've not been able to stress test it yet.
We haven't stress tested it yet. Yeah. So I don't know if it lags. No clue. It handled, what was it, like 60 people? Or no, it was 30. I think Beetle tested it one stream with like 30 something people in a lobby, and it was fine. It was just like paint and stuff that like we knew was shit breaking,
We
basically.
should clarify the momentum lag with a ton of players in one lobby. That might lag because there's a ton of like entities that the game is like processing. It's not going to lag because of like networking, right? Or
Well,
I mean, you're going to get sent more data in from Steam, but it's not like
yeah,
it
it's
would lag in the way that
Yeah, it'd probably lag in both cases there if you have so many. But we have to see. We haven't gotten that far, and you know, that's something else to talk about, which isn't really a question here. But the I guess maybe in the next like couple of blog posts, I'll talk about the release and like what we're planning to do leading up to the release and how keys are going to work closer to 1.0, because we kind of don't need keys at that point. So I'll just, I guess, stay tuned there. We'll have a more official post about like what we're planning, but spoilers, we're gonna probably open the game a lot more to like Steam playtest and get people, like random people that have signed up for it, to get into the game, and then that way we can do the massive testing that way. So yeah, lots of fun. A little bit off topic there, but sort of relevant. So events, absolutely. I would love to do things like Cup of the Day, Cup of the Week. If it was like Cup of the Week, I don't know if it'll be exactly called that, but something like that, like weekly things. So yeah, cosmetics for key holders and stuff like that. We'll have that in place too. But yeah, any other input on this question? All right, if not, we'll continue on. Thank you, Disres, for that question. And yeah.
Our next question is Resistance is Futile, asking, what is the game's stance on what constitutes a gimmick? For example, the airstrike or catapults. And a follow-up question to that is by Cawu, asking, what about the beggars bazooka? Is xhappy a gimmick map?
I believe
Right.
false. Yeah, false.
Yeah,
Wanted to
so
take
this
this
is
one.
predominantly from the jump community. So we would say like what would count as technically like a gimmick is something that doesn't follow, I guess, the rules of the game mode. So something like airstrike, which has much higher fire rate, doesn't really follow the rules of rocket jumping, right? And Beggar's Bazooka is very different, where you have to load up rockets instead of just firing them, right? And then they fire in a burst. And so that's like a much different rule set, right, to the game mode. So that would technically count as a gimmick. That wouldn't stop that from like being added potentially, maybe as like a side like style, right? But that wouldn't be like, those maps probably wouldn't be added as like a typical ranked or unranked map under just like default RJ. Things like xhappy, while it is it uses catapults, but most of it is fairly within the realms of the game mode, like of rocket jump. I think a lot of people consider it a pretty gimmicky map. Just in general, it wouldn't be considered, I think, just like a technically gimmick map. Like it would fall under RJ, but again, whether it'd be added for ranked is also determined on its speedrun viability and desirability of like whether people really want, or a lot of people really want to speedrun a map like that. Also, the last jump of that map is sort of, it's a bit of a gimmick.
Yeah,
one thing that we should stress that we want for maps on the selector is consistency.
Yes.
And like you should
Yeah.
know that when you're loading a jump map, you're gonna get a jump map and not like a mini golf course or something.
Yeah, right.
It's like within the scope of the mode as you know it, and the rules that come along with it, and the things that are going to be taught and learned, right?
Yes.
Generally, yeah. Like the skills, I guess, should be fairly transferable. You shouldn't feel like you're learning an entirely new thing. if you're already very familiar with that game mode, and then you're loading up this map, and it's like completely different. There's like other maps out there. Like this my map, which is Dreamier, which is on Soldier. It's like purely a catapult map because you can't do it as Soldier normally. So there's a bunch of catapults that boost you everywhere, and that, although that does like fall under standard RJ mechanics, that would be considered like a gimmick map. That doesn't say it couldn't be added as an unranked map, or you could definitely still play it in Momentum Mod. It just wouldn't be counted as like a competitive ranked map. Still have a leaderboard, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it there. The concept there, the two concepts I want to talk about, right? The speedrun desirable and like speedrun viable and speedrun desirable, right? Are the two main things I think that would probably be looked at in terms of gimmicks versus as gameplay. So when you have maps that are introducing the other modes and stuff, right? Like, could we potentially add as an unranked with a flag that says it's not normal gameplay? Is it something that, because like again, we can always rank a map later. So if we add an unranked gimmick map and people end up really, really liking it, we can rank it later and make it count so that, the 100% completion nerds have to do it. No, it is important. The other thing to keep in mind, like catapults, right? Those are going to be a mapper mechanic. So overusing a mapper mechanic, like we don't want to stifle ingenuity as well. Like we want people to be able to use the entities and systems and stuff that we give them to create, fresh, like new experiences. But if a map is, I think there was a map in particular that's just like more of like an auto scroller of like you just stand on catapults and just wait to like synchronize a rocket or something. It's interesting, but like, is that then we fall back to that? Is that speedrun viable? Is that something that people would desire to actually speedrun? So yeah, it's gonna be a case by case basis. Gimmicks are, again, like the worst case is if it's not completable by like if the map review team basically deems something as like it's not really easily completable by a majority of people, not just from difficulty but just like jankiness or something, we won't add it. But otherwise we don't have any reason not to add it to just unranked, right? Just for the meme of it. So it's the same kind of thing with like the Bhop Freedom Puppies, like 3-second long strafe map, right? Like things like that where we can add them, but it's not gonna really, like, we're not gonna make this ranked and like everyone's gonna tie for first place if you complete it. Things like that, right? Where you have like a track where like there's just a catapult that just catapults you to the end zone or something like that. It's like there's no competition there. You can probably optimize your strafing in the air or something, but other than that, it's like seriously, like that's not speedrun desirable, right? So yeah, like things like that, it's case by case for every track too. So if a map has something like a gimmick bonus, we just don't rank the bonus or something, right? Like things like that. So we can still add the map, still have those things, but they won't be ranked or counted, right? So just wanted to clarify that because those are kind of some of the criteria that we're going to be looking for in maps. And I'm sure once we finalize the rubric as well for what we're looking for in maps, we'll publicize that just so that people are aware of what like kind of things we're looking into. Right? It's nice to know. It's like a syllabus almost. Cool. Was there any other inputs on this?
Pretty much nailed it.
Cool. Move on to the next question here.
Our next question is Aart asking, could we get an introduction to all the new team members and what they will be doing?
So I'll start by saying that not all of the new team members are here. So if you were hoping for like to hear everybody's voice and stuff, Sorry, but for the ones that aren't here, we have brought on some map porting experts, some people that have ported a ton of like defrag content, and Mac, who's helped port a lot of like Rocket Jump maps and stuff. People that are and when we say port, just to clarify here, maps basically that work in source already just need tweaking. It's not like full on like recompiling or anything like that unless it's absolutely necessary to, like decompiling or something breaks it or something. So for the most part, what we're looking for is just people to prepare maps. I think prepare might be better than port, but port I guess is just kind of more commonly used. So porting, and yeah, we're CSGO based now, so we have all the CSGO entities and stuff, so we have CSM and things like that, so we can make maps look better too if CSM makes it look better. So that's the main help. We've also brought on a ton of really awesome website help that we're starting to get revved up. Right now we have like I think 3 or 4 new devs right now, and we're still going. I should also caveat this by saying we're not done. I've not completed the search or anything through the submitted roles or anything. I'm going to still be reaching out. I've just been busy in real life. So we will be going through and bringing on even more people. So just, yeah, if you've applied, you haven't been rejected or anything, it'll be public when I'm done. So yeah, so with that being said, I guess those of you that are new, which is, I guess, Granus and Shaggets, you guys can, I guess, introduce yourself, talk about what you guys will be doing and what you hope to do.
Granus can go first since he's on the top.
Yeah, cool. I was the first person to be interviewed for some reason. It was kind of cool.
So excited for Granus.
Yeah, you're the number one priority.
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm Granus. I stream. I surf. I make surf maps. It's something I want to help out doing here in Momentum, and yeah. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be doing, but I've started doing some cool stuff. I don't know how much is public.
You can talk about Learn. You can talk about the Learn section.
Yeah.
The Learn maps, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically tutorial maps. I can really quickly just threw together one and try to make it look cool. And I'm guessing me and XP Man are gonna look more into that.
Yep.
So, that's cool. Looking forward to it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, should I just combine my answer for the upcoming question that's pretty similar?
I guess. What was the upcoming?
My background?
Oh, I guess we can leave the
can all
background
go
for
through
that.
that one, so-
Yeah, we'll go through that background one together. You can just do the,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm Shaggets. I'm a moderator, but I also help wherever I can. I've been teaching people how to rocket jump and movement mechanics for years. I'd love to be able to help with Learn, maybe campaign, just wherever I can, get in some help.
New hex, basically.
Yeah, baby hex.
New hex.
I want to be a baby hex, exactly. Just help around,
Shig Hex.
But we do have two coders eventually coming on. We're trying to get Rio and Lumia licensed right now, waiting on Valve. So once they get licensed, they'll be onboarded and they'll be working on. Lumia's been doing a ton of defrag, so we'll be getting defrag, and then Rio's been doing a ton of game movement related to RNG fix, as well as maybe some of his expertise from Horizon servers plugin stuff. So really excited to bring on these two. Once Valve gets back to us, we're currently waiting for that. So yeah. But we're not done. These are just some of the new members. We'll hopefully have more new faces as well as time goes on. And keep in mind that the campaign, we're still kind of in theory crafting mode right now around how we want to structure it. And then we're going to go, Zofa even has like this awesome Excel sheet that's going to really help guide the way that we're going to be kind of structuring how we're going to work on it. So tons of new mappers and things, and just all different types of people coming in. So yeah, this question probably might need to be re-asked closer to like 1.0 and and stuff, just to see how big we've grown. But yeah, it's awesome to see the new faces and have as much help as we can get.
We've also picked up an animator
Yes,
who will be doing
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
animations for us, which is really nice. We definitely needed an animator. We still need some more artists, especially like concept, characters, environments. So
Everything.
if any of
Please.
you are confident, certainly apply. There's nothing. It's a non-destructive thing. You get to apply. You'll get an interview. We'll get to talk to you. We get to go over some of the stuff that we're looking out for. So if any of you are interested, definitely join the Discord server. Go and apply, and we'll set up an interview for you.
Just like super artistic people would be amazing to, like I'm not even particularly artistic, but I learned texturing pretty much for Momentum Mod because I really enjoyed it. And if more people, that have some sort of artistic background, ideally, and are interested in maybe even learning some new stuff, could be great.
Yeah, and I mean, I've already pitched the game in the last stream, but seriously, this project is something that I'm extremely passionate about, and that I hope, we're bringing on people that feel the same way, and that it is something that can help you grow, right, professionally. Again, I didn't know any C++ when I started this thing, so I'm, I am...
Read.
Yeah, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, and now look at me. I'm barely... Anyway, so yeah, it's great. It's a great platform. Great team to be working on, too. It's a team-based platform, or team-based project, so having that experience alone is enough. For a resume, if you're trying to go for game dev jobs and stuff, people want to see stuff like this on your resume, so... feel free to, we do have it's in our announcements. So if you want I think if somebody can get it, the Google form, if you want to fill it out and try to apply and help out, you do get a key if you're on the Momentum team and helping out with us. So consider that a way in, I guess. It's a more direct way to help us out though. So yeah.
I think you should drop some names for our new people that aren't here. Like we got Spring Scale and animation. We got PBJ Pie, the Nerdman, Nicel. They're doing web dev.
Mm-hmm.
We got Eskimo Jojo doing map porting and Mac doing map porting. And that's just what I got from memory. I don't know if you guys remember anymore.
There's probably more. They might be offline right now. And still, we're going through it. So like the list isn't final either. So it'll grow. It'll be a bigger list by 1.0. Oh, hopefully by a couple of weeks from now, actually, when I'm all the way through.
You actually got everyone. You got everyone there, I think.
Cool.
Very nice.
Looking through the Discord list. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Was there anything else for this question? I guess, did we miss anyone? Or I guess that's it. So thank you, Art, for asking. We'll move on.
I think.
All right.
For that. Peace.
See ya, Grennis. All right, let's move on to the next question here. Thank you, Art, for that.
Shiny Shuckle is asking, is there going to be a set limit to how long a run can be? For example, KSF doesn't allow any runs over an hour.
Yes, absolutely. We can't just accept unlimited size runs. There has to be a hardware limit, right? So the way that our game is going to structure it, we don't know how big replays are going to get yet after the refactor. We are going to be storing more data inside of them, but the data that's being stored isn't every single tick or whatever. Some of it is just kind of events that happen in the replay. So we just have to see how much bigger like a replay of a standard replay versus like a 087 and whatever replay versus like a 010 or 011 replay and onwards will be, and then from there we can decide how what's a reasonable file size limit that we want to limit for uploading. Right now I think it's 80 megabytes. We're gonna probably drop that in half to around 40-50. So the main thing there, right, is your replay size is also determined on what you do. So if you stand still for a large majority of time, which is practice mode or looking at a replay or something, you're just not doing anything right for your run, it basically just pads it with nothing, right? So it's a gap. So you could technically have a longer run, but a smaller replay size. I think what we'll end up doing is we will hard cap the submission to around 6 hours. It's currently around 9, but again, it depends on the replay size. We're gonna probably hard cap it to 6. We have to also see what the average run completion of some climb maps are, because some maps get dangerously close to that. And we do want to have hard, long maps as well, but keep in mind that the way that our replay run, submission process works is it's just submitting it. right? So we could have your 10 plus hour whatever runs saved locally, but they won't submit because, yeah, that's a long time. And we, we could limit it to just file size and not really say a time cap, but that's harder to estimate. Right? Like we can't, we could probably have some ongoing kind of, we will have some ongoing UI that lets you know you're approaching a harder limit, but it's much more consistent if it's a time cutoff. That way it's very easily programmable into the timer in the HUD around, hey, you're reaching your limit. We're not going to submit it, but it will still save. So that kind of wording can pop up. It won't hard cut it off. It won't, completely negate all of the effort that you've done for the last 6 hours. So if anything, right, you will still save a local version of the replay. It just won't submit. And then we'll make sure to update our UI to show you that it hasn't submitted. It's a local only replay.
Confirmation of destructive actions. That's what that UI would fall under.
Right.
I think James asked if it depends on how detailed the map is.
No.
That should not
the
have any effect.
Doesn't care how many plants are in the map,
Yeah, because it's just storing where you are, what keys you press, and if you're storing some state from the map, it might add a little bit, but it should be pretty much negligible.
Yeah. I mean, the way the replay playback works too is we're simulating it in the map itself. So any buttons or something like that, we could have events stored in the replay, but we wouldn't we could just simulate it as you're watching it. So things like doors or obstacles that you have to break or shoot or whatever, that could be resimulated for the replay. And then map detail and stuff like that. I mean, if the map is huge and longer, right, obviously it's going to directly affect it by your replay taking longer. But we don't store any info from the BSP itself. That is a good clarification question for sure. Any other input on this question? Something I missed? Cool. All right. Thank you, Shiny Shuckle, for that question. Hopefully that answers that. There will be, and it'll be very clearly communicated. It's going to be a time limit, and also a file size limit. We'll probably keep track of both, but you're going to probably hit the time limit for the file size limit. So that's ideally our cutoff strategy. Cool. All right. Onwards to the next one.
Next question by Paddy asking, how in-depth will the learn section be for each game mode? Will it cover niche things like strafe and off-angle styles? And what about non-game mode specific sections for general movement?
All right. We plan to have the learn section be fairly in-depth. It'll cover every mechanic that basically defines a mode as you know it. So, to the point where advanced players can get on the map and say, learn section and say, I didn't know that's how that worked, and they can learn something and take it to a map and hopefully have an example of a map they can even use it on, and go right into the game and learn what they've acquired from the learn section. It'd be amazing for that to happen. Different run tags like half, sideways, and backwards, those aren't really a priority right now. Maybe in the future, they're not off the table, but that's a lot of extra dev work, and you have to find the people that know the ins and outs of those styles, and those aren't really immediately accessible to us or even a priority right now. But it's not off the table, and we haven't made a determination on whether plus strafe will be in the game or not, so I can't really give you an answer on that. Things that can be generalized will be, possibly strafe, but because you strafe differently in different Eric cells, they might need to be broken up, but we'll have to see what can be generalized. But those mechanics are very important to teach first before anyone gets into almost any mode.
We could even have a section for momentum specific things too, like learning UI, what UI means, learning Absolutely. Different HUDs and stuff.
Even meta information like what a speedo value means in a mode. Like, why is my speedo turning green in SJ? Right. That's incredibly valuable information.
So, and then the note about plus strafe, we have to probably make a forum post about this. We don't know if it's going to be in the game, but off angle will be, yes. Off angle run flag specific runs like that. The idea for the learn mode is teachable, repeatable, focusing on gameplay for the most part, because the docs website can handle things like showing, like static elements. Like it'll be more valuable to be something that could be applied. And then one of the really nice things about the learn section is tying it to existing maps that you could I just learned how to air pogo. Here's a bunch of easy to hard air pogo maps, right? Or we could have different difficulty air pogo learn sections or learn segments, and then the hard one suggests air pogo heavy central maps, right? Things like that, where we can tie in maps with tags tying in with the mechanic that's used in the map, or focused on in the map. Obviously, there are some mechanics that you can use, like strafing through the air. Obviously, you can use everywhere you're in the air. It does differ per air accelerate, but we want to kind of categorize them to mode specific, and then the more general things we can pick out and put into a momentum wide sort of section there. That's base movement and stuff. Keep in mind that the campaign tutorials will also be going over kind of the entry, I've only played FPS, or I've never played FPS before and I want to try this out, sort of level players, and guiding them through to be able to play tier 1 to tier 2 to eventually tier 3 if they beat the campaign maps.
Tier 6. Yep.
Right into tier 6 tutorial, right to tier 6. Good luck. It's Dark Souls, bitch. No, things like repeatable gameplay is extremely important for us to have. And no, it won't have a timer. It's going to be stress-free. In fact, a lot of custom UI elements will be made for the UI section. Mostly like you won't have a leaderboards panel, right? We might have maybe more information in the leaderboards panel if you hit tab. Just kind of explaining, maybe if you want to watch replays, we can embed some replays for them. Things like that. Customizing it so that people are focusing on the learning and enriching their skills.
Yeah, and also I kind of see this as the learn section is going to be work in progress for a long time, because I mean it's going to be, we're going to hopefully get something out soon, but it's mostly going to be the basics,
beginner,
where the more advanced stuff will be coming a lot later.
Yeah, it's because source games by their nature are hard to pick up. You can't just get in one day. And I'm rocket jumping now. It's just not how it works, right? You need to be eased into it, and especially need to be told what's going on. I mean, many of us have experienced just joining a jump server and having people tell us to piss off, and you just sit there and struggle for a week or two, and then it finally clicks. And learn mode makes that process so much better. It gets new people in the game.
We're going to be having
new modes,
in-game hints to tell you to
it gets people more comfortable in the modes they're already playing.
Yeah. What are you saying, Tom?
What we're gonna have instead is in-game triggerable hints that tell you to piss off instead.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
We added the game overlay hint system.
When you join a lobby and try to RTV, we're gonna we're still between whether or not we should actually have it do something funny or actually have it RTV, but only for you or something. Just do something funny where it's a full-blown RTV clone of even the shitty little HUD menu pops up, and you can select your maps in your library, and when it RTVs it looks like it switches for everybody, but it's just you, and so you leave the map. So something like that. Roll the dice too. Yeah, we could have some fun with commands like that in lobbies.
Is the learn section going to be networked as well? You could play with other people?
Oh yeah. There's still maps, yeah. So you would still be able to be in the lobby.
Right, so,
So you can have somebody spectate you, but the idea is that you shouldn't need it, right? So it should be educational enough to you can do it alone. But yeah, having the ability for somebody to watch kind of over your shoulder and be like, yeah, you're holding D too long on this ramp or something, right? Helps out.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other input for this question? All right. Thank you, Paddy, for that. Hopefully that answers that, and we'll move on to the next one.
Owie's curious to know, do we plan on supporting lower specs or older PCs in particular? And if so, in what ways are we supporting them?
We're supporting them by ditching old DirectX.
Yeah. There's a hard limit. we are moving to DirectX 11. We don't want to be dealing with the jankiness that is partial DirectX 9 plus weird Linux support. Moving to full DX11 with DXVK is kind of the way forward for us, which limits graphics ability to the last 12 years, I think, of graphics cards.
About 12 years, yeah.
Yeah, GTX 400
yeah.
level. So that is kind of the caveat there. But that being said, yes, high FPS is extremely important to us. The game does not bode well if it's 60 FPS, but it looks fucking gorgeous. No, like that's not the point of the game. People are just going to turn that off or want to turn it off, or not play, right? Like if they can't turn it off. So having, first of all, the option to be able to minimize everything, right? Min settings, whatever. It looks like garbage, but you chose that, right? Like we're not going to, by default, put you into garbage specs. We're going to try to, probably intelligently set the settings there. Source does a pretty good job of that already. And yeah, I mean, we're, with the ability to now fully graphically debug the game, being off of DirectX 9, we can find where bottlenecks are, where, issues are with rendering on different modes and things like that. I guess the dilemma, right? The developer dilemma, right? Of having this beastly AMD Threadripper, like GTX Titan, or like 3090 level stuff in your dev rig, you don't really care, right? You don't really think about low specs because you can't. You physically can't. But the moment you put all of your devs on like a Dell Celeron or like Intel Celeron or some shit, right? Where it's like, it takes 5 seconds for us to load the game. Why, right? Oh, we're trying to, do so much during runtime, but like not everybody has the same hardware. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Like we'll have the 300 FPS target. We're going to try to at least hit 300 FPS on the majority of maps. It is also map dependent. If maps are using and not poorly, if maps are poorly optimized, we can't do too much around that other than catching it before it's submitted and trying to fix it. Older maps that are poorly optimized, we could probably try to decompile and add some like viz leaves or something to help with that. But that's usually where performance drops, is the game's trying to render everything at once. So yeah, it is, again, it's going to be harder for us to promise low spec support because we don't have, I'm sure maybe some developers have some low spec rigs. I have my like laptop, but even then that has like a 6-core and like 32 gigs of RAM and stuff. So I'm like, we definitely, there's like a balance of like limiting the game to like perform worse so that we can find bottlenecks, and just making sure we're profiling the game. Taking advantage of hardware, more modern hardware, is another great thing too. So we're going to be trying our best to kind of optimize for just 300 FPS because we want that. We're not trying to hit the Xbox level of 60 FPS. We're PC only right now, and we're going to try our best to maybe when the Steam Deck comes out, we can see how it runs on that, like docked, obviously, because I don't know how controller support's ever going to really work for things like Rocket Jump or Bunny Hop. So yeah, but yeah, I would just say that if it performs poorly, like we can look into where things are performing poorly, and just try to offer those minimum settings that support the lower spec until you can upgrade. But we can't. The other thing to keep in mind is we can't keep dwelling in the past. DX8 is like 20 years old now. It's 2004, like levels of DirectX, right? Like. Or something like that. Like it's old, and we don't want, or maybe DX6 was 2000. Anyway, it's old tech, and people are just getting better and better hardware. And if we just keep supporting DX6, right, where like Microsoft, I don't even think you can download the DX6 like SDK or something. Like there's even levels of like we can't even try to support it if we could, because like the development tools or something around it don't even exist anymore. So you got to keep looking forward. Our Steam store page is updated to show that we require DX11 capable cards, so the min spec on there should be around what you should have. I think, if anything, the main thing that we're going to really be using is disk space because of all of the maps that you could download. But Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because yeah, we have like PBR and stuff, but who knows? Who knows what people are going to be doing in their maps? We're not going to be adding RTX. If we do add RTX in any way, it would probably be to like VRAD or something, like just to accelerate having more accurate light bounces and stuff. Other than that, we wouldn't have real time ray tracing because it's not really worth it. In my opinion, like when you're going 300,000 units per second and like you barely see the reflections at all in the first place. So yeah,
I would say 300 FPS is better than, or more important than ray tracing. I'm gonna be honest.
Yep.
What's the point adding it to source? I mean, I just want to say DirectX 9 came out in 2002. That's how old it is. It's so old. DirectX 11 came out in 2008, 2009, right?
Right.
And we're only just moving to it.
Yeah.
It's it is absurd that like CS:GO is still DX9. Like it's so completely out of date. So
I think the caveat there was DX11 doesn't work on Windows XP. And that they still target Windows XP.
Okay.
So that's the main thing, right? Like we don't support Windows XP. We're slowly moving off of 7. I think we have a couple of things.
Support Vista, right? I mean,
No, unfortunately, Vista also had the boot.
Fuck me. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
You'll have to go to 8.2. I'm sorry about that, but there's a lot of like fun backwards compat that we can only do so much as a smaller kind of indie game studio working on this game, right? It's just a studio, but a group working on this game. There's only so much we can support. So we will try our best to profile the game as much as we can, both graphically and CPU and RAM and disk, wise, and then hopefully through that and through proper map inspection and profiling maps and stuff, getting our map review team to look at things like the budget panel and stuff like that, seeing if the map is like fucking tanking it, things like that. That's gonna probably be where the majority of our support is going, because we want that. We want that for everybody, not just low spec, but high spec too, right? People play with uncapped FPS, 1,000 cap FPS, and it's like we gotta support up to that too, and that requires a lot of optimization. So yeah. And that's the really nice thing. We can optimize the full engine now, except for V-Physics. We can optimize a lot, and it's very, very nice. So, yes.
I just wanted to say that also just surf and like bunny hop, these aren't like the type of game modes that are going to have that much going on. Like even in other games like TF2, like it's easier to run a surf map than it is to run the regular game.
Yeah.
So like they're not very complex in terms of what you're doing in them. So I think a lot of it does come down to just if there's massive performance drops, chances are there's just a mapper doing something ridiculous with refractions or something.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting to see because we're gonna probably have more going on in campaign maps than your classic standard maps, but we're going to optimize them very, very well. So
yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to get some very detailed maps that still run better than those terribly optimized maps.
Right. Yeah.
Flashbacks to Jump Blossom. People know that map. They'll understand.
Yeah. Was there any other input for this question in particular?
Just to add to your point about bad support on Linux, I think many people don't realize how bad it really was. There were lots of issues with like even getting the PBR shader to work at all on Linux, just because like the shader model it supported wasn't even like up to date to the latest DirectX 9 standard.
Yeah.
And so the unfortunate side effect is that the minimum specs for Linux are even higher than Windows now. So you're gonna require, I think, like a GT 650.
Yeah.
Or an HD 7790. Like there's a it's a bit weird because different drivers and different versions of driver support different levels of Vulkan. But yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a bit higher on Linux, just because Vulkan hasn't been around for as long as DirectX 11. Like
Yeah.
there's not any other lower middle ground to take, and there's obviously OpenGL, but yeah, like apart from 2GL, what Valve concocted, yeah, there's just no way for us to implement our own API to render to OpenGL directly or something like that. It's just way out of scope. So
Right,
like
yeah.
Vulkan is really the only option, and DXVK native to get it up to speed to Windows, so we don't have to go this way of like two systems at once that used to be.
Yeah, it was awful. Yeah, and it was just, I mean, that was one of the biggest gripes that we had. And yeah, and the fair point there with like we could have went OpenGL, but DX11 had more, I guess, overall expertise from Slidey on the team, and then that is, one step before Vulkan. So it's more of like a stepping stone of like, we'll get the DX11 fully support it, and then maybe if we get more graphics devs onboarded in the future, we could port Chaos over to Vulkan fully and just be a straight up Vulkan engine. It's a lot of effort to do things like that. So the fact that we're even on DX11 in the first place is amazing. So we're gonna definitely stay on DX11, fully support DX11, and then see how far we can get with Vulkan in the future if we want to go that route. I know Slidey doesn't know it, and so it would be a matter of like bringing on people that could do it. Help us out with it.
Not just porting it, but also like making good use out of it, doing the optimization and shaders and stuff and whatnot. Like that takes I mean, that would be amazing to be able to do like super fancy shaders, but
right. Yeah. So yeah.
We of course can't fail to mention like JJ for his awesome work.
Yes.
PQCE team on getting DXVK working.
And big shout outs to Josh Joshy, who works, I think, as a contractor at Valve, who did it for the Portal 2 repo and then pushed that so that we could see it. So that helped us immensely with getting
working
DXVK.
and then working on DXVK and DXVK native itself.
Yeah, that's right. He's the dev of it. That completely slipped my mind. Yeah, he also works on DXVK. So yeah, Joshy, big ups. Big shout out to Joshy for that. All right, we'll move on to the next question. Thank you, Owie, for that. You'll be in good hands. And if it's not in good hands, we'll do our best to support as best as we can. So moving on to the next one here.
I might butcher this name too. Yai?
Yee. I think is how that's how I do it. Yee.
Okay. They're asking, what was the background of each of the Momentum Mod team members before joining the team? Like their hobbies, professional experience. Should we just follow the list that we have in Discord?
Yeah, we can do that.
Those that we have in the
voice. Yeah, sure. So we'll start off with BLT.
All right. I'm not a professional programmer by any means. I pretty much just code for fun. I have a bit of, you could say, like formal training in C++, and I have a moderate size experience of it. But yeah, I'm a student. I'm at university, and I study math. So it's programming for Momentum Mod is really just a hobby of mine. So it's not. I'm not a programmer by trade. But yeah, I definitely would say I still learned a lot, especially leading to the engine license, contributing to the open source repo.
Yep.
But I would definitely say there's other devs on the team who have much more source engine experience and really know the ins and outs as well.
But that's what
But
you need.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, that's what you need too for code review and stuff like that. If we were all like noobs at it, we'd be like, oh, that seems good.
Yeah.
But so there's no harm in not knowing as much, because it's always good to learn. And yeah, we'll move on to false.
Yeah. So I've been jump mapper for like 5 years now? Jeez. Yeah, so I've been around in jump, and I've also did some formal studying in like 3D art, and engineering and stuff. So that's, yeah, a lot of what I have learned though has been, in terms of like 3D art, has been a while helping out with Momentum Mod, just taking on projects internally and like reiterating a lot. There's been a lot of reiterations of designs that you guys have probably not seen. And it's gotten a lot better, thankfully. But yeah, that's mostly it.
Yeah. Tom?
Yeah, yeah, I've sort of been around in like source games in various forms like for years of growing up. And sort of like joined Momentum as I just like to sort of spread myself all over the place and like learn a bunch of different things and sort of be not particularly good at anything, but sort of like okay at lots of things. So Momentum's fun because I get to do story writing, UI stuff at the moment, and then like bits of other programming at the time, texture work, and like I make the update videos for some reason as well. And like so I mean my background's in I'm a philosophy grad, so not really like particularly programming related, though I did a bunch of logic. But yeah, I don't know. So I guess my sort of coming from a humanities background applies me a little, helps me a bit with sort of story stuff, and I'm not really qualified in like any regard, but I don't know. I love Momentum because I can just learn a bunch of different shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. Very
It's
much
great.
a sort of hobbyist that like to stretch themselves thin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great platform. I mean, for me, I guess I'm up next. For me, it was, my background was more speedrunning Half-Life 2, and like I only coded like Botnak, my chatbot, and like ghosting mod was a little bit of C++ experience, but I'd say that was like Java experience trying to be into like C++. It was barely any like C++ experience. So I was starting this project as kind of just like this dreamy-eyed speedrunner that wanted something like this, and just like slowly learning how to set up a mod, all the way into just more C++, like learning how Valve coded like all of the game, and like just learning from that, and like just slowly getting better and better, learning how the entire engine works, sitting down and like some days learning it. And I mean, I kind of always knew I wanted to program. So like I haven't had any like professional job or anything experience like that, but Momentum has led me to be able to get that, because I now work full time, and it's great. Like I work in C# and C++, and so it's like it's what I do, and I'm learning even more from my work as well. So it's great. Like having come from basically barely any Java experience to pretty comfortable C++ programmer. But yeah,
Yeah, it's not bad.
yeah.
All right. I reckon all my relevant experience falls under hobby. I've been moderating East Coast Jump for about 5 to 6 years, which is Jump, Bhop, and Surf. We have rehopped and resurfed databases now. I've been playing TF2 since I was 12 years old. My dad got into it. He was a shitty 2-Fort NG, and I picked up
Hell
that
yeah.
mantle. I wasn't an NG, but I picked up that mantle and started playing 2-Fort as a little squeaker, and I've just been around for a while.
Yeah.
That's about all there is.
And still a squeaky.
God bless.
Jeez.
And then We do have Vortex here. Vortex, if you wanted to type it out, I could read it.
Like text to speech. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, text. Oh, okay.
I'll
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah.
Vortex posts, or Vortex says he started off modding with Team Fortress 2, a game he really enjoys, creating maps, models, and weapons. However, he's never finished any of the work, as he always starts a new project when the previous project's momentum faded. He is studying communication and graphic design, and a lot of this new knowledge can be applied to digital art, which is what he expects to get involved with or involved in.
Nice.
That leaves me. I've been playing Source games since I was 11. I have 14,000 hours logged in TF2. I think my first surf map I made was in 2016, Surf Res. And then I had Surf Zealand, Res 2, some other stuff. I ported a lot of CSS maps to TF2 for resurfed. And then I started working here on mapping and whatnot. In terms of professional stuff, I'm in my 5th year of university for computer science. The pandemic kind of shifted my plans a little bit and extended my stay at university. But I've also done a few full-time work placements at a few government jobs doing kind of web development and just general development stuff.
Heck yeah.
For me, growing up, I was always really, really interested in making maps. I think I first got introduced to mapping when I was 13, 14, and I just learned it all through a buddy of mine, and we were designing maps for 1.6, Counter-Strike 1.6. Growing up, I still kept that same aspiration, continued to build maps, continued to make different levels, continued to experiment. After high school, got into a 4-year degree program where it was art and design as the major. So I got introduced to learning about texturing, traditional fine arts, as well as 3D modeling. And after that, and it gets into like professional experience, I got picked up by a big publishing company and got to work on like 6 or 7 different AAA titles, and I got to learn a lot of the things that go into those titles, as well as getting exposed to all of the different art, the different stories, the different arcs that occur. And that has definitely kept me pushing towards this dream as I was growing up, getting to work on a project, something like this, exactly, Momentum. Getting to work on a project where it is just you making a map, or not making a map, making a game based off of like bunny hop, climb, surf. So I want to say that was when I was like 14, 15 when I started playing surf maps, and it was just always like a dream. Like, dude, it would be so awesome to actually work on a project like this, where we actually create a game based off of these little mechanics. And here I am now, freaking, what is that? 16, 17 years later, still pursuing that dream. It's a really rewarding feeling to get this opportunity to work on this project, and as well as help inspire and influence others, sharing my knowledge and experience working as well as going to school.
Yeah, like Zofa's probably the other OG like generation 1 momentum team back in like 2014, 2015. So
yeah, when I was when I was working in the industry, that's when I came across this project. That's when Goknak was working, or it was in like the conceptual stages. He was still messing around with his botnak. He was setting up the ghosting mod, and I remember still working at the office, and this project came to fruition, and I started sharing it with coworkers and going over this and that. So yeah, that was a good like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So it's, I mean,
Another 5 years
yeah,
for 1.0.
right, for 2.0. Yeah, it's awesome to see just like the different like backgrounds that people have, but also just like seeing people grow through the game too is what I'm really happy for. Like seeing the game help people, you know, learn, or like watching the coders, right, go from the open source repo, their first PR or something, all the way to like, yeah, they're opening PRs like nobody's business and stuff like that, right? So it's awesome to just see it happen there. So yeah. There's definitely more team members. They aren't here to speak for themselves, so we're not going to. But there's a ton of people that have definitely more hobby experience with these game modes, mapping experience from all the maps they've released as well. It's just, we have a nice mix of people that know what they're doing and can bring that passion to the game, and it's awesome to see it.
This is. I just want to say this is a very great question to ask, and I would not mind having follow-up questions on it later with more people that could chime in, because it is a great question to express these little stories that we have, because everybody has a different story.
Exactly.
And it's really nice to actually hear it from those people, because at the end of the day, you might be inspiring somebody to want to get into this. Like, hey, I've always thought about this. What would be best practices, or what are some things that I want to look into? Actually, hearing it from someone who's walked through those, has gone through those kind of steps, gives you that kind of insight, gives you that kind of motivation to actually push yourself to do the same.
Yeah. So if it sounds exciting for you guys, again, it's where we've come from. If it applies to you, definitely check out our application form. We're looking for people that are passionate about this project, and skills are, it could be something that you can learn along the way. It's just, we want the passion towards the project. Was there any other input for this? All right, we'll go ahead and move on to our last question, I believe, here.
I added another one.
Oh crap! I'm gonna have to refresh. You can paste it inside of the voice team channel. We'll get to it.
Okay. Yes, please do, because I don't have it on my document I'm reading off of. Our second to last question is by Lumia, asking, what kind of social features will Momentum Mod have in game, like voice lines, taunts, or cosmetics?
Okay, so this is a great question. Thank you, Lumia, for asking it. So yeah, there's a level of like player interaction, right? Like, so voice lines, taunts, and cosmetics, or voice lines and taunts, right? Only typically like matter if you're in a lobby, right? So to promote people playing lobbies, we would want to have cosmetics like this. I think that it'd be fun to have like a lobby full of people that have the same kind of like quippy voice line or something. But it would also get really annoying. So we have to make sure we're balancing the social features with annoyance levels of, like, we can't add things that could just be like 30 people in a lobby spamming good job, or something like that, as you're like trying to surf. They're like surfing along with you and just hear good job, like all around the map. It would be hilarious, but I mean it would also just very quickly get annoying. The thing though to keep in mind is that we don't want to block cosmetics in a way that, like, if it is annoying, I think like the best solution is to just leave the lobby, or to like there are other avenues to like prevent it from actually getting to you, right? So like there is that level of balance that we have to take in mind. Like, we want people to have fun and express themselves through voice lines, through taunts, through different player models, through attachments to the player model that kind of represent who they are, what they like. We want that, and that shows up in replays, right? If we have voice lines and taunts, those show up in replays, right? We could have, like, if you're getting a ton of air, you could do a taunt in midair, like Portal 2 style, and like, yeah, so like we could do things like that, and have it be more of a like expressive way, to like kind of an expressive side of the game, right? And we don't have any like concrete things down yet. I think the way we're going to be designing the system is just we can add them. So like obviously voice lines and stuff. But the thing to keep in mind with those is like voice lines typically tie to a specific character, and will need to be voice acted and all of that. So having more, I guess, more visual things would be better than audio, because it's just unless it's like sounds or music or something like that, it's going to be a little harder for us to get, and it'll also be harder to tie it in with the characters that we're going to be having, or like the models and things that we're going to be having, right? So if you're playing as like a little Yi, but you have like a deep like good job, like, you know, sort of thing, that's like super misleading or something, right? So it would be hilarious though at the same time, thinking about it right now, but like, so it's just it's just a matter of like seeing, first of all, how the systems are going to work together, like how all of like the customizations can work together, but we also just want to make sure they're not annoying, that they aren't spammed, that they aren't, you know, getting on people's nerves, because yeah, that's the main thing. We're never going to make things that disappear, right? Like use like fucking CSGO sprays or whatever, where you use it up. We're gonna make things permanent, right? So it's part of your character that you unlock, and it's something that's tangible that you can use. And it would be cool to actually be able to do multiple things, right? Not have just like one assigned taunt or line or whatever. Have like a wheel, right? Just like how other games do their social kind of aspects. So yeah, yeah, I guess in particular, like specifically, we don't have anything like necessarily planned for like what it'll be and say, but absolutely, like even like music kits in a way of like when you get a world record or something, it could play like a different kind of tune than default, things like that, you know, when you get your PB, which is going to be the replays that people watch, right? So yeah, just kind of expressing yourself subtly or directly, I guess, through the game. But did anybody have any input on this?
Well, the best way to express yourself like that is probably going to be through cosmetics and the sort of weird combinations and stuff you can make from those, right? Where, like, they're less spammy, they're nicer for us to make, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a just more productive thing to spend your cosmetic XP on, or whatever we're going to call that system. Well, yeah.
Yeah. No anime player models. Again, you can always customize things locally. So like we'll have like, you can always add like an anime player model locally. It's just you know, the store related stuff is what actually gets networked to other people.
Yeah, we can't just randomly add licensed stuff like your favorite anime character.
Get sued by a Japanese studio. Yeah. Any other inputs on this? Oh wait, did I cut somebody off? Sorry about that.
I was just gonna say you could gonna like start a VR chat game in a moment.
Oh my god.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're adding VR support just to have a VR chat game mode? Oh my god, that's gonna be taken out of context. But anyway, VR mod, VR, like, I don't know.
I don't know.
It would be cool. It would be really cool to have, you know, lobbies be areas.
Yeah.
Oh my god, all the hit characters. It would be great to have lobbies be these social environments that people can hang out and do more than
leads into our next
game
question.
server. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. Huh.
How about that?
Yeah, let's move over to it.
Our last question that is gotten bled into by the previous question. Tapperyaus.
Just keep
Sorry. We'll just keep saying it until he summons and says the right way. No. Let's just say Tapper, I guess.
Tapper's asking, will there be arena type hub maps where there's not really a finish line? It's just a map where you can bunny hop, surf, or rocket jump, sticky jump around the middle and never leave the start area. Sort of like the spawn island and hyperscape.
That sounds like trick surf.
Yes.
Sounds like an idle server.
That's just TF2 now. It's just a
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. But like, that's a good thing. I think that should definitely be a thing, right?
We don't want to have a ton, right? But it's not like we're paying the costs of like networking those people, right? That's
Right.
Yeah.
If people want that, you know,
I think that'd be great.
I think the first comment there, that is what the trick mode maps are aiming to be. There's not really a set start. You do tricks in various locations around the map, and it's just this wide. It's more of a wide open. I mean, some maps could be different, but it's like this wide open kind of do whatever you want kind of map. So I would assume, like the trick modes are actually going to be exactly what you want for this purpose. You could even do tricks while, like, if you want some task to do while hanging out. You know, it's just not, oh, everybody's throughout the map, I can't see them. It's like, oh, they're all like flying around doing their tricks or just sticking around, right? So
we'd love to see some you know, new tricks maps, especially as well. So, you know, if people did want to work on, you know, cool tricks maps that they, you know, have some sort of fun social areas, and that would be a really fun mapping project for some people potentially.
Yeah, exactly. So absolutely, they'll be added as trick maps most likely. they like we can't add maps to the map selector without, like, you know, like it needs zones, but like trick surf maps are kind of different, where they'll be uploaded and then the zones are like a separate kind of, like, they're constantly fleshed out. Well, actually, no. Trick surf map or trick maps will have the zones. It's just you don't have to, like, complete them. So the gameplay itself is what'll be different, I guess. But yeah, we won't be adding things like a map that's just like a platform or something, right? Like one platform or something. Like it has to have some gameplay elements to it. And I guess that's what that question's asking, because it needs, you know, some bunny hop, serif, RJ stuff, elements like that. You know, and the game mode overriding stuff like that, that's going to be another interesting angle of, like, we can network, like, people digging around in their own game mode override thing that they're in. So, you know, people on the same map but in different game modes, like with rockets or stickies or something on a map messing around. Yeah, absolutely. We could have maps like that. Yeah, where people just hang out and kind of like, you could, freestyle honestly might be the better name for trick surf now I think about it. I don't know. We'll see it. We'll see what we're gonna call the mode in the future. Because it is more freestyle. Like, you can do kind of whatever. Like, there's not really a set goal unless you track it, the trick in particular. So anyway, yeah, absolutely. We'll hopefully see some of those maps added for that mode. So heck yeah. All right, I think that's it for the Q&A section. Were there any other last minute, like, questions or anything? What time are we hitting here? Ooh, 1.5. Nice, cool. Demo time, sort of. If the game doesn't explode, we'll see what happens. Might have to end up just playing the Steam release, which is okay. But we're kind of in a middle of, like, development merging stuff. So it's like there's some panels that don't work quite right yet, which I think I could actually fix. Now I think about it, I might be able to fix it. But yeah, we can switch over
a development stream.
Oh yeah. Just can't show any of the code. Cool. So I guess what we'll do is we'll go over to gameplay. So if anybody wants to host the lobby for it. Oh, I don't have the lobby. Yeah, you're gonna have to invite through Discord if you're doing that. Cool. Oh wait, we do have a question here. How much compatibility will the last open source release have with the online Steam? None. We're going to basically be rewriting, like, anti-cheat and run submission, so you won't be able to do anything with the online side of things. So there will be version checking. Yep. It's going to be inherent with the anti-cheat. So yep. The fact that 087 doesn't load the anti-cheat is going to be enough to not submit anything. So yeah. Lobbies, I think you can technically. Somebody was showing that you could in 087 if you have the key. So I think when the game comes out, you might be able to. Just keep in mind you can only do 087 lobbies, and keep in mind also when the game is out, everyone can play it. So you shouldn't be on 087. And like defrag is going to be in the Steam release too. So like if you're playing defrag or anything like that, it'll be in the main making.
Yeah, unless Steam like randomly changes the whole lobby API,
Right.
like which they're
Right.
not gonna do, it's probably gonna be compatible forever.
Right. Yeah. So it's just what the data we send might change too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Appearance
So,
data
like-
for in particular is going to get crosshair settings, stuff like that. So we're gonna have, yeah, we're gonna have some fun there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tony Hawk and 087. You can, you maybe, I don't know. You can play it with other 087 players maybe, but yeah, it's a little weird like that. It's just the data that might be sent might not match, and so it'll be really jank probably. So yeah, cool. Any other questions, I guess, before we go over to gameplay? Going once. I'm giving it to Twitch chat, by the way. Going once. Going twice. Okay, cool. So we'll get on over here to this. Oh, it's not capturing. Hold on. No.
Did you get the invite?
Oh.
There we go.
We did like an animation.
Yeah, like a little move. Cool.
Nice.
I guess we have room for more webcams on the bottom if we ever have more people. But all right. Well, we still need to improve this. But here, let me get out of the questions and answers here.
Change to 4x3 so you can fit fit it on there.
My favorite aspect ratio. That's totally still relevant. Oh man.
Did you get an invite, Gognak?
Did you send it through Steam? Yeah, cool. All right, I got it.
Okay.
There we go. So just a couple of things. We're still kind of in the middle of like merging code and stuff. So I don't think I have the SJ HUD quite yet. I would have to like rebase over onto it, which would take a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to show off maybe map selector a little bit. And then I think I can fix, let me see really quick. I think I can fix the the keypress panel, which is definitely in. I just have to go see where that is really quick. One moment.
So, for those to explain, we currently have a lot of devs working on Panorama at the moment, and a lot of different branches open with different stuff going on. So we can't really show all of it at once.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of work in progress going on all over the place on Panorama, like Map Selector, which I think is on Gok's branch. We've got changes to settings. The draw panel is nearly done, but on a different branch. Lots of stuff is being changed into styling backend. We've got a lot of HUD stuff. So sticky keypress is in now. Crosshair, I don't know. Yeah.
Keypress crosshair needs rebasing and then merge. It's actually approved, and then sticky jump is not in yet. It needed a couple of changes, so it's currently being worked on. So just a couple more things, a couple more minor things left in it, and then they should be in the next push. Ideally, we get them all merged in and push it out so people can try them. I think I see the issue here. Let me see really quick what the panel is called, and then
We'll have a bunch of HUD, a bunch of chat. Draw being soon.
Okay, so it is mom HUD. All right. Okay,
Yeah, to show off chat, you can do what I did for testing. I just replaced the news panel in the main menu with chat.
Okay. So, I guess kind of showing off the map selector here. So we're starting to populate the map selector panel with actual data. This is my current like library and favorites, I think, currently. We will update it in the future to like allow searching and stuff. But yeah, you can search maps here. We have a search bar, and then filters will be down here. They're a little messed up in terms of layout. Still work in progress, but it's pretty cool because yeah, completed maps will have kind of this green kind of hue, green kind of background here. We do also have this flag, so whenever you like highlight it, you can still see that it's completed. And then when you hover over this, will show your PB that you have on it. And then yeah, so like if we, I guess like like if I go to Bhop Arcane, if I click this, it just loads it because I already have it. So things like that don't currently show. And then it looks like the image panel is loading it, and plus I'm on debug. There we go. Yeah, it takes a little bit. Might take a little bit longer to load right now because, again, I'm running the game in like a kind of super scuffed state. Pretty fun, but yeah, you can see the, oh, it did load. Okay, cool. Oh, hold on. Here's the selector again, but let me just see that, make sure it's captured. Okay, it is. It's in the bottom right. So you can see the keypress HUD there. We have it hooked up, pretty responsive. Looks pretty familiar, right? It's pretty cool. I don't know if I had. What was that?
It's baby. It's very small right now.
It is pretty small. I might have messed up fixing it. There might be some CSS I need to change as well. I only edited the layout folder. The nice thing about all of this HUD is that it is completely customizable. All of the very, like we're getting into Sass, if there's any web devs in chat. You can, like there's like basically overrides that you can do for all of our colors, all of our like panel like positions and stuff. You can completely override the layout file. So if you don't like how the like panel is laid out, you can override it. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know if we don't have the counts currently showing, and it is way deep in the bottom right corner, which is a little off-putting. So we'll probably move it out a little bit.
So just to explain, so currently if you look at GOG's HUD, we have the the bit saying stage 0/5, no timer. That's VGUI. So that's going to change. And same as the speedometer, I believe.
Yeah, speedometer is still. Yep.
The bottom right, that's a panorama thing. So eventually we're gonna. It doesn't look all that different, but I mean, I think it looks better, but it needs to be a bit bigger and all that. But
yeah, there's tweaks we're gonna be doing.
Yeah. So all that VGUI stuff is gonna go, and will get replaced by panorama, and that stuff will look much better and will be much more customizable. So no like more sort of faffing around with res files or whatever like VGUI. Like a lot of like if you want to change font sizes, move stuff around a bit, you should be able to do that with just like single like variable overrides in Sass. That you just boot up the game and it will do those overrides for you. It's really smooth. It's going to be super easy. And then if you want to do even more like fancy customization, they will be able to. You'll be able to go through like all the internal Sass files. You can even mess with like XML and JavaScript. So it's going to be people will be able to do some crazy stuff, but also like simple personalization like will be very easy for pretty much anyone to do if they're happy just like overriding a few things in a file.
Yeah, it's great. Like we're going to do our best to make a very, very great default like HUD, default like layout and stuff, but having that ability to customize is really what's like I'm really excited about. Because yeah, I mean right now the layout's not even final. Those counts actually need to go next to the buttons that it applies to, like the jump and stuff. But yeah, Panorama is really just unlocking a lot of customization and just even like animation stuff. We don't really currently show it here, but like things like the settings menu, like animating between the different like different panels and the like we can have
even crack the surface of what we can do with animation. It's so nice. It's essentially CSS free animation. It's
right.
It's best.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean it's like the map selector, it also might seem kind of sluggish too right now. That's again just a debug thing. The release build, it properly has the what is it, the like proper performance it should have. So
map selector UI isn't finalized, by the way. Like they'll look good. It looks alright now. It'll look even prettier.
Yes, it's gonna be even better. Right now the map icon isn't taking up the entire background. We're gonna have the thumbnail in the background, and then this button over here on the right allows you to cycle through all of the maps, and like you can like view them like individually so that you can see what the map looks like before you go and play it. And then if you download a new map, let me see if I have maybe Milky Way. I might not have Milky Way. Like again, like favoriting something, like updating all of like the buttons for the state and things like that. It's interesting because it's like the UI framework. I'm used to VGUI. Like I hate VGUI with passion, and I'm glad that we're on Panorama now. But it's like I'm also relearning Panorama. Like I'm relearning how to do like the things that VGUI did in game. We even got BLT on the map here. So this is some of the multiplayer. By the way, you can knife fight each other. It's pretty fun, and then get an assert because of debug mode. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like we're gonna be there's like the level of customization here, right? Like customizing player paint and stuff too. A lot of interactivity still, despite this being a single player kind of focused game, right? And like BLT's over in Europe, so like this connection isn't like 2 ping or anything, but the game isn't affected at all due to that. And it was basically he like dropped right in. And so, oh man, just the ability to like really have fun with your friends at any time on any map, and then he could also change map at any time and still chat to me too. So like that's like just awesome. It's awesome like gameplay that I think this multiplayer is kind of like the better way to go for this kind of gameplay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the only thing you're really missing out on is just the cooperative game modes like tricks and stuff like that. Oh, damn. So yeah, I'm starting my Bhop gauntlet. Speaking of the gauntlet, we are planning to have an official feature called map playlists that you can play maps in a row. Basically, you start a map and finish a map, and the moment you finish the map, it goes to the next one. And then we have an overarching UI that keeps track of all the times that you're getting on the map. But we'll also help out. Oh wait, that's not backwards. We'll also help out and have like try to have hooks into stuff like live split, so that if people want that customization, because yeah, we will have like speedrun splits and things like that in our game. It's just they like it's gonna take some time to implement. So yeah,
we're gonna have races through playlists. Is that gonna be a thing in the end? Because we've got race at some point, right? And we're gonna do.
I wonder if
we probably could actually. Yeah. You probably could. It's just the times that we're counting for playlist runs are just like how it does in the current gauntlet of like only when you're playing the map when the timer's running. So if we do real time like that, I guess like if you take a break or something in the middle of your race, right? You're technically you could potentially be faster, but like you took that break, so you're not RTA faster. But and there's no like there wouldn't be any indication of that in our like UI because we only track the in-game time, right? Mm-hmm. Damn, missed it. But yeah, I mean, live split's really cool, but we don't want to have to force users to download it. The current gauntlet and stuff can do that because it's kind of more of a community-based thing, where it's all set up and then you have it. But like with Momentum, you should just download the game and it should be there, right? So like that kind of level of preparedness, right, that we want users to have. But yeah, so I could try to rebase live on stream. I don't know if that's a good idea though. Yeah, I guess we'll just like continue to kind of show off gameplay. So like Bunny Hop, it's based on CSS Bunny Hop. For those of you that like the CSGO Bunny Hop style, we're not really going to be adding it. If anything, I think all it does is just increase the like size of the player and then add like the landing kind of effect where like the screen sinks into the ground or whatever. Damn.
Someone in chat was asking if we're on pace for the Steam Demo Festival. I don't know if we ever announced.
Oh, right. So that was an idea that we had. We're most likely not going to do Steam Next Fest, just because it requires a demo, a publicly playable demo, and without the learn section completely done, or like beginner sections completely done, and the fact that we would be opening a demo and then closing it again, like after, like it just kind of seems kind of shitty for us to do that. So in general, what we're going to be doing instead, I guess as a spoiler for the future blog post, we're going to be doing Steam playtest, where everyone can sign up for a key, and then we just shotgun keys out as we need people to play. And then just as long as you sign up, you can basically get a key. Because again, as we approach 1.0, keys will not mean anything, right? So like I generated another batch of like 300 keys, and those will be going out to the map porters and translators and stuff that we're going to be focusing on at 0.10.0. And then I think probably around 0.11.0 to 0.12.0, we're going to start shotgunning keys in Steam playtest, using Steam playtest. Oh shit. But yeah.
Yeah, next that's like if the timing had been a bit different, maybe could have worked. Like if sort of it'd been a couple of months later, it might have worked out for us. But
yeah, I think there's just also just a lot of overhead that we have to deal with setting up a demo.
Oh yeah, and then
I don't know if we could have just like all of the maps on the website during that time, or if we'd have to reset a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be wiping a couple of times, right? Like we're going to be wiping with most likely 0.10.0. It might be 0.11.0 by the latest, but 0.10.0 is the new zoning, so we're going to be, uploading maps with the new zones. So the old zones, unless map editing gets in place, I don't think we can really salvage the maps currently on there with the times. So yeah. But 0.11.0 is the new replay, so obviously, yeah, we're going to be wiping. You won't be able to play the old replays.
Here's a good question. Yosachi asking, what languages is the game going to be translated to?
That depends entirely.
Really
on
depends.
Who we
have.
Yeah.
We want to translate as much as we can. It's going to be.
Oh, this is bad bit. Right? Yeah. Continue on.
It'll be done by the community, primarily, or we're going to be reaching out to community people to help with translation. We'll probably have some team people that are sort of overseeing stuff, and we've got various team members that speak different languages who can, I imagine having some people that are fluent in several languages that are team members that do some of the translation for that language, and then they also sort of manage some of the general localization stuff.
Yeah,
would work well. But I mean, we really want to do as much as possible. And languages like Russian, Mandarin, obviously really key. But I mean, there's loads.
The core languages we'll definitely support is English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Catalan, Spanish.
Catalan.
Like 3 people offer for Dutch.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, but we're not just going for the more European-based languages or whatever. We definitely should be doing Russian, Mandarin, maybe Cantonese, and
I'm gonna switch back over to the Steam build because the current build does not currently it does not currently download maps. I didn't add that functionality, so I actually can't download any of the maps that people are on right now, but we'll be adding that very soon. So I'm gonna switch over to the Steam build just real quick.
Yeah, Hebrew could be useful for sure. We currently have a localization channel on our Discord, which isn't currently all that active, but actually absolutely will be picking up in the future if we get close to 1.0. The main thing right now is that because our UI isn't fully in place, we don't want to be telling people to start translating stuff and then 3 months later have changed half of that and give them a bunch more stuff to translate, right? We want to have stuff centralized and more organized first, then reach out to translators.
It really is a balancing act because you don't want to do a bunch of redundant translations and then make changes, but also you don't want to be kind of, just giving everyone just a huge batch to work on one time and then they just have this wall of text to translate.
So, Gog, what are the plans for translation? When are we going to do some after towards 0.10 or?
So what we're going to be looking for, let me first of all, let me get in game.
I sent you another invite to the lobby.
Oh yeah. Oh. Wait, how do you spell arugula? Oh wait, shit. There we go. Okay, let me get in the map and just watch, I guess, false play right now, and then I'll answer this. Oh yeah, you sent the
Yeah, on Steam.
Yeah, one moment.
Do you need another one?
Got it. Cool.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Happy's one of the people on the team that will be very useful for translation.
Yeah.
Russian.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. I just wait. Just hold on. Okay. Is that not? Does chat not work on Steam Build right now? Oh shit. Did we?
Yeah, I removed the pen.
You removed it. That's right. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. I can just mom spectate.
You can add the panel in the XML and it should just work. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, as we were saying, the plan for localization is we need to find people that want to be kind of the lead localizer for a specific language. They're going to be more the ones in line with talking directly to the team and making sure that there's like issues with specific languages or the languages they care about reported and tracked. Because there's going to be some panels that, you know, obviously the text isn't going to be long enough, or the way that we formatted it might not be, you know, thoughtful of how the language gets translated. And then there's like the level of also management over how all of the strings are being translated and put into the game. So we need those kinds of people for the key languages, right? The most popular languages around the world. That isn't saying that we don't want languages like, you know, Taiwanese or something like, or like, you know, any languages that could potentially be localized, we want. We just need to have that system in place that has the, it's escaping me right now. Like making sure that we have somebody that's kind of in charge of it, and then somebody that can, or like the people that can translate it itself. So, one second. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. Cool. So, yeah, so I would say that 010 is when we're actually going to start focusing on finding those leads and getting the system in place. We're going to be revitalizing our localization site, the PO editor. We're going to be making sure that we send an email out to all of our translators for them to get into the Discord if they wish to help us out more, or continue helping us out. And then that way, what we can do is we can start to organize like the main languages that we want to have, and start to get like the localization process in place for like how you would test locally with your key, how you test it with all the UI that we currently have, and then, you know, making tweaks or seeing if there's any problems getting like that documented for us. What the hell?
Map.
What?
What's the secret?
Did you headbug?
No, there's a teleport down there in the corner.
I did not know that. Holy shit. That's cool.
I don't know how many people know about this, but yeah.
Not everyone, false.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get back in. Oh, there.
Oh, you just hit the ground teleport. That's funny.
I don't know why that is there, but
yeah.
I guess Tori found out you can stand in that like
Well,
corner.
mapping's hard.
Yeah.
Something that got left behind for debugging.
But yeah, so localization I'm pretty pumped about. I'm like, I mean, I would really love to get it sooner rather than later, so that we have the process in place before we actually have you know, before we release with 1.0. So yeah.
Yeah, we also need to
I'm really
like
looking forward to, you know, just having, you know, just people from all over the world getting involved would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also need to figure out like how it's gonna work with Panorama in some cases, because it's a bit different from VGUI, where like variables used to be like just positional. Now you can have actual variable names like in the translation string.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to come up with some clever scheme to document that, and what the value means, and what type of value we're expecting, and yeah, I mean, also just stuff like numerical separators in different languages. I don't even know if that's supported in Panorama, now that I think
There's
of
like
it.
a box underneath that for some reason.
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Yeah, like if in German, like a comma is like a period, and the other way around, like
Gotcha. Yeah.
numbers. And it's probably something we're gonna have to keep in mind, because probably be very confusing when you see, I'm going at 1.8 units per second.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess like for non-European languages, it's probably gonna be even crazier, like from our perspective.
Which is why like having sort of like, you know, people like overseeing specific languages that we can like actually like have conversations with is so important, because it's not just like we can give them just a big list of words and they tell us like the equivalent word. Guinean translation manual. Sorry. Philosophy degree. So like, you know, I don't know like what a lot of if other languages translate surf just as their equivalent of like surf in their language, or if like
Right.
I mean, it's
because like these modes were built with English
a lot of the words
terminology,
weird, like
right?
Yeah, the actual
it's just,
terminology.
like it's some stuff. It's probably really pretty hard to translate. So ideally having multiple people who speak that language be able to discuss it, but also just talk with us and like give us some different like variations of stuff. Personally, I'm really interested in that and just like hearing sort of like how these terms vary in different languages.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
it's really interesting.
C-tap. What is a
Right,
C-tap?
Yeah. That's gonna be really, really fun. Hard, but fun. Like,
Right.
Perhaps just call it C-tap. I don't know.
I remember on like the Chinese YouTube, there's surf videos, and I think Google Translate will call them glide maps or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's hard to get terms back to like their literal terms. Like if I've asked a few different people, how do you say rock on in Spanish? And it's almost like a trick question. Some people will translate it and it says light the rock, and it's like, no, that's not what I meant.
Right, because not every
So it's
language
hard
has
to-
like equivalent
Same euphemisms, yeah.
versions of each word,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Like,
It's hard to
just
get those
euphemisms,
literal
but like
terms.
even like really like basic core parts of language like can just vary between languages, right? So like, you know, some, you know, just sort of ways of describing stuff can just not make sense in some languages, right?
I mean, for rocket jump, it's pretty easy because like TF2 has the rocket jumper as a weapon, so we can just use the local translations from there.
Until you get something like a power bounce. How do you translate power bounce? And
A powerful bounce.
That's actually a really good PR.
Yeah, that was sick.
That's solid. 247.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun with the locale, right? The locale of things, right? So the periods versus dots, or sorry, periods versus commas for numbers, things like there's even right to left languages as talked about in chat. There's languages that, you know,
I don't know
how would we
even
how would
that? I don't have a computer that can launch CS:GO right now, but I don't know if CS:GO has Hebrew mode.
I don't know. And so if they do, we could try to see how they did it in their code, but you know, maybe it's just probably best to keep it to left to right languages, and just try to support as much as we can there. And then if we ever get any dev free time and enough want to fully translate over into...
I'd be really curious to see how we could do it if I could port like Panorama to, you know, allow Hebrew.
If anything, it's text alignment, right? So it's just making sure that it's right aligned, basically. Right. But Owie, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everyone.
Oh shit.
You gonna show the raiders how to beat arugula?
You want to go to another map, or?
Yeah, sure. We can, any map that you want, we can go to.
Wait, what was Benoi's?
Gonna pick one of his own maps. I'm gonna call
it.
You go to.
Oh, is Benoi a jumper?
Surfer, I believe.
Oh right,
Should I play Providence? Play over. I was running that.
False, you're a walking shameless self plug. Of course you're gonna play Providence.
I'll play nice on. No.
Hold on.
What is that?
Panel. I forget what the command is to show the map. Hold on, I think I might have to disconnect first and then.
Asset status.
Try antiquity.
Oh, main menu just straight up broke. Okay, that's good to know.
Deleted that too.
Nice. All right. So yeah,
Oh.
that's not good. Let me just restart the game really quick. Oh, I can't even quit. Let's go. All right, so that's good to know. I guess playing a map right now on the Steam build breaks the main menu, but we'll fix that.
Is that on just like a regular Panorama?
Yeah, not DX11, no. Yeah, I'll just reboot back. Hopefully it's not just loading map. I think it was something with maybe chat open, but
I sent you another invite.
I blame BR2 then.
All right, should be in. And then which map are we going to?
Antiquity.
There isn't even any chat panel that could be open.
Yeah.
Tier 5 map.
Oh, Antiquity. All right, cool. I'll join that. And that, by the way, is how you get maps. For those of you wondering how map browsing and selection works, you get the map selector. That's not going to look like this. We have the other one that I was trying to show, but it's not really completed either.
This is the funny jiggly one.
Yeah, and so it's just literally 2 clicks to download, and then
Give it a jiggle.
yeah. I don't have a chat panel either, so gotta just do that.
There's the chat commands to spectate, I think.
Yeah, but there's no chat panel.
There's no chat, yeah.
You can enable chat messages to console, and then they show up in the top left in the dev
That's true.
thing. I don't even know how you activate it without being.
Well, then you would have to do say hi. There we go.
These are still. Do
Hi.
we compress our maps?
Hi.
It's in red.
We're gonna be using our own CDN, so it's basically FastDL, but it's our own server.
Do we compress our maps on that server? I forget. And then decompress.
Yep, fully compressed. They'll be fully BSP zipped. We want to minimize as much
Yeah,
bandwidth
same as-
that we're serving and that you have to download as much as possible.
We'll also do some other fancy stuff with assets and text.
Oh yeah, maps are gonna get really small, hopefully.
Somebody
Maybe
earlier
more
asked.
probably.
Sorry, go.
No.
Somebody earlier asked how KZ's coming along. Are we in a position to answer that?
It's not coming along. It's not pre 1.0 prioritized at all. You would have to ask Zero, I believe. Zero.k was currently working on it. So just any progress that they've made there. Once they get comfortable with their code, we can merge in what they have there and start basically getting CSGO movement in for SKZ. So yeah, that's where it's currently at. We're focusing on getting the rest of the game out, and then we'll get Climb in.
Yeah.
Climb on parkour.
curious.
1.0.
Yeah.
How's parkour doing?
Has not been touched. Yeah, has not been touched. Brian Nato did
One
a
guy trying to convince another guy to work on it.
yeah.
Once we actually get 1.0 out and turn towards it, like it will get a ton of attention.
Yeah. I think parkour is probably one of the more important modes, but it's just in terms of scope, right? We need to get the game out for people that have done,
And we don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
And
We want the mode to be fun.
That's hopeful, but not guaranteed, right? For 1.0.
Exactly 1.0.
Are you guys planning on defrag for 1.0 now? Hopeful, yeah. Yep. So with Lumia on board, and with enough feedback, that is the main thing right now. That's what I've told Lumia, and what Lumia is hopefully telling everybody is we need feedback. So we saw, I think it was name dropping. So okay, never mind. I won't name drop. Somebody in the defrag channel saying that it's almost there, but there's maybe like these glaring flaws, but didn't say what the glaring flaws were. And it's like we want that right now.
Yeah.
That's literally what we're looking for right now. So that's what we're trying to get is people to give accurate, in-depth feedback around what feels off. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get 1-to-1 with Quake 2 or Quake 3 or whatever that we're trying to aim for. But in terms of like how much fun it is to actually try to play something in defrag, right? that's kind of what we're looking for. And is this a shippable mode? Is there going to be people just straight up complaining the entire time, or is there going to be just, people that are whining that it's different but not giving any substance on why?
You tell them.
So I genuinely hope we can get the feedback desired there. Let's watch Bray. Wait, did you just edge bug Bray? What? Oh my god, just edge bugged off of the. Oh wait, no. Okay, it's caught on the sticky. I see how it works.
She's kind of a legend, honestly.
Yeah,
she does have a faster time than me on this map.
Straight up.
I feel like the alpha on
Too
the
good at
sticky
this
should
map.
probably be a bit higher.
True. Maybe when spectating, they should be full alpha of the person you're spectating.
Yeah.
We could do something like that.
Would P2P based downloading be possible to integrate at all, both to speed up downloads and reduce server load on your end? I think we've talked about this before, right? I know you've got an opinion on those guys, right?
Yeah, we can do it. It's just it gets dangerous.
Yeah.
You're basically trusting that whoever's giving you it is going to be sending you the right thing. We could do cryptographic signatures on maps. We have the hash, right? It might not be SHA-1 in the future, but we have a hash of the map on our website, so we could just very easily verify that you downloaded the right hash. So yeah, we could do something like that. It's just it won't be the main method. I'm not too worried about downloading. I think there's enough cheap running even the price calculator for S3 or other platforms. Downloading 100 gigabytes is only $3. It's ridiculous. It's $3 to store 100 gigabytes.
S3 is super expensive for us, right?
No, it's the main thing that's gonna probably bite us is constant bandwidth. But I forget if it's 10 gigs in a month is $3 or something, and that's extremely doable for our budget. It will scare me if we get consistently above 10,000 concurrent players, because that's all I've been kind of eyeing. We will be doing our best to kind of compress and to make sure that we're kind of ahead of download needs, making sure that maps aren't 300 megabytes by default, right? Things like that, where it can be, right, we can get there, but we want to make sure that we're not just only giving gigabyte size, right? We're getting to easily getting to a gigabyte in 10 maps that you download. I definitely want to try to compress as much as possible.
S3 does still get pretty expensive for us.
Yeah, hopefully also maps their size will be going down when we get more of the kind of asset atlas stuff, where we can just strip all the assets out that are being packed into every single map.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of reuse that space rather than using them in every single BSP.
Yeah.
If you download the text you want, you don't need to download it again for another map, is the idea.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. That does rely on analyzing the maps and seeing whether or not maps have overlap in textures. I know a lot of mappers tend to use
there's a good amount.
The free texture packs, which if the license is good, we could actually just ship these texture packs with the game in their own VPKs that the game mounts on boot. So we can definitely look into just reducing how much over the air bandwidth you have to do versus the inherent first step download. So the game might grow to 6 gigabytes, but we have every single texture you ever need for the majority of maps, right? And then you add just the texture or just the assets we need from TF2 and stuff, and it grows maybe a couple more gigabytes there. I know CSS assets aren't that much. It's 600 megabytes, I think. I would actually have to analyze it.
Wait, what are we talking about? We're not transferring those assets anyway, though, right?
No, we're not.
Distributing them.
Yeah, we're never distributing them, but I'm for size, it's checkpoint 0. So I guess the status HUD isn't updating what checkpoint you're on. That's fun. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, I just know there's a lot of surf maps that use There's like a spaceship texture pack that everyone likes to use.
Yep.
Real world
Yeah.
textures.
Are all these textures here?
There's
Sort of
Nairo
textures,
Dev.
or- I feel like these are.
These look like real world textures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nairo Dev is a big one. We have full permission from Nairo to use his stuff,
yeah.
including Omnific and Unicorn and even Alpine. So we're going to be taking advantage of that. But yeah, I would love to ship all of this content with the game so Steam handles that upfront cost. And then all we handle is like basically map downloading and run uploading, right? And like, I guess images too. So, you know.
But yeah, just lost some money transferring light maps to people, pretty much.
Right.
For overall
Light maps, cube maps could be something that we look into generating first time you play a map in an asynchronous, if we can.
Yeah, if
make
we can
it
do it asynchronously, it could work really well, right?
Mm-hmm. And so that's even smaller, right? So the map is even smaller now. You only have light map and geometry data basically, and I guess all of the like map specific things like scripts and entities and stuff, right? So it will be very, very fun to see just how small these maps can go. Yeah, it's like one of my pet projects I want to do before 1.0, but
also we got more web devs now, so they can maybe
yes,
do some of that stuff, right?
Yep. The tooling, right? The tooling, the API in place for it.
Yeah. Like server side, like map extraction, fancy stuff. Ooh.
Yes, yeah, on map upload, so it's just all automatically done for the mapper when they upload.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's we can nerd out about the map asset atlas for a bit. I mean,
for a while, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully going to come to more fruition. I've not even thought about it in months, to be honest. But...
Yeah, like we basically need this tool that is going to take the BSP and just start to analyze a bunch of stuff. It's going to basically, like, what I'm thinking is like some Electron basic app that looks at all of the assets in the map and like presents it for the map review team to make sure that there's no hidden porn or whatever in textures. And then it'll also identify all of the overlap textures from the asset atlas of like, oh, this is from CSS. Oh, this is from, this asset pack. And we can like strip them out there. And then, yeah, just like, it's just, we need this map review tool, which then translates into, okay, that could actually be part of the website as you upload maps, right? And then like that kind of information is just exposed there. But yeah, I mean, peer-to-peer map, so getting back on topic with peer-to-peer map, it's possible. I mean, for sure. Like, Steam gives us the ability to send random data to each other. So, if anything, right, it's just a matter of like, okay, you're downloading a map, you understand that this could be risky, like, yada, yada. Preventing people from just accidentally clicking it. Maybe even putting it behind a lock or something that they have to manually turn on and understand the consequences of if they run a BSP that might have, like, some fucked up shit that like has some exploit, right, that we haven't patched yet.
That might be harder to moderate.
Exactly.
Someone comes into our Discord crying about like a BSP they downloaded, and they're like, how can we? I don't know if we can log that.
Yeah. Right. So that's the main thing, is like, I want to do it at least for work in progress mappers. But like our map system is going to support just you doing it through the site and having it auto update for everybody. So like we'll have that system already. So like the use case is very niche. So it would probably be best as more of a hidden feature that's just something you have to go and manually unlock and like understand the consequence of. But it's possible for sure.
Someone's asking about the viability of increasing BSP limits.
Yeah.
I think, like it's something we can do, but we would have to kind of throw out the compatibility with, like, well, not throw out, but like the maps you make for Momentum will not run in any other games if you're doing that.
Yep. So you would have to use Momentum tools and only run it in Momentum. But yeah, it's something that we're entertaining the idea of, right? Like pretty aware of why Valve chose the limits they did, but some don't really make sense anymore for the year that we're on, right? With hardware that we're on, and with our min spec going up to DX11, right? We're already requiring you to not have a 2004 PC, so we can raise some of these like limits to, you know, integers as opposed to shorts and things like that. So yeah, I mean, if anything, maps could get bigger, and that's the trade-off, right? We'd get bigger BSPs in terms of like size, right? Like literal, oh my god, size in both ways, of like dimension and like megabyte, or gigabyte. No, I'm just kidding. And so like you get the maps that don't have the assets in them, but you get bigger BSPs like size and yeah, both instances of size. And then that way you get, you know, more of a momentum specific aspect that's, you know, servers can't do it because their game that they run on don't support this, and that is extremely enticing for us as a platform. We want to capitalize on things that we can do like that. Yeah. I'm that's why it's like our mapping tools and stuff are eventually going to get to the point where you can't use them for other games because it's just, it requires engine changes that we don't have the authorization to do and stuff like that, you know. Like, so yeah, I think you know, we'll start to focus on doing momentum specific map changes. We do have P2C to worry about. They want backwards compatibility, and so do we, right? We don't want to have to port every single map over to a new version. But yeah, it is something to keep in mind. It's like if it breaks, I guess, any existing workflows or something for P2CE, it might be a little problematic to have two sets of tools to do for the engine code base. But it's, I mean, it's manageable. I think the trade-off's worth it. If we solidify bigger maps, but it requires a momentum VBSP versus a P2CE one, I'd do it.
Tapperyaus is asking if the tutorial and story maps will be downloaded or if they'll be with the game.
They'll be with the game.
Yeah, it won't be like a large file size increase because it's going to be using this, like, all the materials and models we're using will probably be consistent throughout, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a bunch of massive BSPs for each tutorial.
Yeah, all of the assets too. It's like following the asset atlas. All of the assets are shipping with the game. Like it's in the materials folder and stuff because we want mappers to be able to use them. We're not going to pack them into the BSP or anything. So yeah, absolutely. It'll be with the game. Game download's probably going to be the biggest download that you'll have to do, hopefully. Unless you download literally every map the game has to offer. In which case, yeah, it's going to be a bigger download there. A couple of 100 gigabytes of maps.
I guess if you're really worried about file size, I mean, you can just delete them afterwards.
Right, yep. We'll have the options there so that you can safely remove it. And then, I mean, you can always get them again, right? So it's, yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will. A lot of people will be going through the map list and be like, oh, yep, I know these ones, this one. And so it'll just start queuing all of them for download. And the nice thing is, too, you can play while they download. So you can like queue them all up and just play, and it'll download for you. Write it out to disk, I think asynchronously, so it doesn't freeze the game at all, I think. Or it might hitch, I think, currently if you download big maps because it does a synchronous file write, but we could change that over to asynchronous. No problem. So that's more performance.
Telling me that I no longer have to sit in TF2 while a map is downloading on a new server.
Exactly.
And not be able to alt tab because if you do, it like crashes.
It fucking destroys the game. Yeah, exactly. And that's like, again, it's part of this platform that I'm so pumped to see how people like it because it's coming from servers and stuff. It's going to be different, but it's going to be so much better. It's just going to be so much better. Like it's
for TF2 gamers, you always have Game Banana you can use if you really want to be asynchronous and you have a lot of time on your hands.
And you use their API that changes every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If you can navigate their website, yeah.
We don't mean
I
too
use
much
Game
shade.
Banana.
Yeah, it's a good site. It used to be
I
the
respect
best.
It,
It has my respect too,
man.
but it's like we can't.
It's old.
We can't.
Have you guys got the Windows update that adds the Game Banana logo to the bottom right?
What?
But next to the weather forecast?
The
Yeah,
Windows
like the integrated Game Banana.
integrated
they
banana.
added
Let's
banana on your taskbar.
Does anybody want to showcase Conk?
I can't conk. Break and conk.
I'm the last person you would want showing off.
We do have Cup in the lobby.
Cup of Conquer.
I think so.
Go
Or we can watch my
earlier.
we can watch my epic. Oh shit! Okay, I already fucked it up. We can watch my epic skills.
Tier 6.
Damn.
sticky jump.
Yeah, I can't do this. Oh. All right. Well, I can do I can do Conk though.
Do like a bit of Ahop Coast. I don't know.
Okay.
That'd be awesome to see.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, down to see some pro Half-Life speedrunning.
We need to get QR in here to conk on Ahop Coast.
I'll start with timescale.
Oh yeah, that map's is that map new?
No,
No, that
it's
was
a 2-1.
It's one of the first ones.
Everfast.
Yeah.
Everfast was.
Everfast is Bhop. I don't know if I have
Right
it.
now.
Oh, I
I
do
played
have
that
it.
last stream, actually.
But yeah, this is Ahop. This is the shit that I did before I did momentum mod coding, so I'm a little more skilled in it, but not that skilled. A lot of the reason why I'm making this game is to play it. So, you know, like having these maps being made for a mode that basically doesn't exist anywhere else is just amazing to me. I love it. Ah, damn.
It's also the first map I saw in a stream where I actually first saw momentum mod.
Oh yeah.
What timescale?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Really?
Don't know how I like the sprint sound. I think it's still a little bit delayed or something. Oh fuck. It's still a little bit delayed, so it's like a little bizarre. It's off-putting, but we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
Just make a new sound by just breathing into the mic. It'll be just like Half-Life 2.
Yeah, it's like that,
Ahop is so esoteric just looking at it with no knowledge.
right? Hey, 20 seconds worse. Also, I'm in mapping mode. Fuck! Why am I in mapping mode? All right, whatever. But this was made. This was made by Ninja Cookie, and special thanks to Wayzone for helping test it. Oh, wait, is there not a? Oh, I guess showcase your run. All right, fine. So we do have, I guess people that haven't seen this, we do have a global leaderboard. Right now you can't scroll on it, so it's just top 10. Oh wait, also why isn't this? This should be solid.
Some of the Ahop world records are nuts.
The color of the background's not. Okay. Anyway, usually the leaderboards takes a different background color when you right click. But anyway, you can see where your rank is and who's around you. You can see your friends' times. You know what rank they are. Pretty cool. And then top 10. So are you top 10? I don't know. Am I your friend? Yeah, you are. Yeah. All right. So we'll watch. And so I just right click, watched his replay, downloaded it. So we'll watch this masterpiece run. Holy shit! Do you ABH the entire thing? If so, that's actually impressive. Oh, dead stopped right there though. I don't know how to handle that one yet. But you can see the old input in the bottom right. By the way, this is the old VGY one.
The Ahop Reptile run is ridiculous.
Oh, Reptile. Yeah, I'll showcase Reptile after this run. Actually,
That run is obscene.
Reptile is insane. It was made by Chili and Such. And how the fuck did you make that? What the fuck, Facade? What the shit? You're like getting lucky. Like, I mean, this is basically Half-Life 2 running. It's like you just kind of. It's like the early days of Half-Life 2 running.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, you have to make a save at just the right time and then try and get lucky, you know, loads of times in a row.
Just never ever learn AFH.
I mean, this is, you know, a playstyle that you could do. It is technically the fastest. You aren't pressing against the way you gotta move or anything.
Well, it's the fastest if you do it perfectly.
Yeah.
If you can tell where you're going.
That's why I say give it like a rear view mirror.
So I'll show Reptile really quick.
No.
I'll try to play a little bit of it at first because it's kind of crazy.
Reptiles are hard map.
Poor Hex joined trying to get your attention, Gawk. I had no idea.
Arguably the world.
Touched everything.
Oh, what?
Let me see
He
if
just
I
wanted
can
you to
find
watch
it.
Ahop. It's no big deal.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so Ahop Reptile is this beautiful like Windows XP screensaver, the pipes XP screensaver. Kind of, I don't know how you would describe this. Oh my god, Hex is literally fucking tripling to the moon. Okay. Oh no, that's Prey. That's Prey. Okay, my bad. Sorry, Hex. You weren't tripling to the moon.
This is a one long brush.
Yeah, so the idea is that this is like probably Ahop's like fucking hardest map yet. I actually don't even think I can do the first jump. Hold on, let me see. It's like it requires like a precise like.
The world record route is arguably faster than the intended one, but
oh yeah.
Sort of skip stage 3.
Yeah, there's like some skips. Oh man, hold on. Let me. So I think I start from like back here. Oh wait, is it N? M? No, M is practice mode. What did we make it? B? I forget. I might have unbound it for the start mark. For the start mark, yeah.
C, I thought it was.
Oh, damn it. Okay, so you get the idea. You go kind of fucking crazy. Let's watch. First of all, let's watch. I guess let's simple or no. Let's watch Samuel's run. So this is Samuel's run of it. So you're supposed to go this way over here. I think this is the more intended route. No, it's not. Never mind. So he's going the unintended route. You make it up to here. This is the second stage, and then you make it up here to the third stage, and then you go across. It's fucking insane. It's insane. And then you go up and around and land over here through here. You get enough jumps to go all the way up. This is stage 4 up here. And then you go around and you have to land on this stretch and go all the way back up and land up here for stage 5. And then he didn't continue it, so that's why it's the second place run. Oh, and he failed. Oops. But then he'll get it here.
Yeah,
so jump across, go up. Oh, he failed again. Okay. This is it. This is the attempt. Some nice wind noises up here too. So up there.
Even if this wasn't difficult on
Hop,
like a technical level,
hop.
I would still just immediately forget the route.
Yeah.
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 And then let's
I
watch.
belly laughed the first time I saw this replay.
Yeah, it is just an insane run. Here's Daxiox's run here. So he comes around.
Is that an hour?
Yes, it's almost 2.
All right, cool. So we're gonna be here for a while. But this is the more intended route. So you get up here, you land it down, so you come over here, and then what you're supposed to do is gain enough speed to like launch. Ignore the blocks, by the way, the kind of white blocks here. They're kind of like checkpoints, but they're like map elements that don't really synchronize with replays yet. And then yeah, you get enough speed, you boost off of that, you get all the way up to stage 3. And then of course, let's watch Ninja Cookie. Their replay here
This
is
is my favorite run in Momentum. I like
Yeah.
the leaderboard by a long way.
Yeah, she
going
killed
over
it.
here, up here. So similar to what second place was doing. Same route, but more optimized and no fails, I think, at the end there. So through here, jumping through, going all the way around to stage 4, just with this speed, all the way around. One jump here, all the way to stage 5. And then landing it and continuing the hops through. And there you go. And then with enough speed, you make it all the way to the end. Insane. Like I can barely do that. Oh, there are my guns. Nice. Yeah, absolutely mental. We got some conkers on the map now. He's gonna juggle all the way up. But yeah, it's let me see if I can at least get to stage 2. Oh, I don't think I can, so that's fine. Yeah, and so it's just like game modes like this is what I'm just so pumped about, because like this doesn't exist anywhere, and so this becomes Momentum exclusive like content and gameplay, and it's just it's awesome to see it. And now I don't need to play Half-Life 2 anymore. I got this. And speaking of, I guess Half-Life 2, we Embellis, I don't know if they're still in chat, ported all of the coast maps. All of the coast maps stitched together. It takes up the entire hammer grid. And yeah, if you've ever played Half-Life 2 or speedran Half-Life 2, like I did, this is possibly one of the greatest,
Unreal.
greatest.
It exists. It's,
Yeah.
Just
You don't really need to play Half-Life 2 anymore. So, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, once we do
You
both,
don't want to say that.
Yeah, you should
You don't
play.
want to hear that.
No, you should play Half-Life 2 to.
Half-Life 2
Oh,
is a genuinely
damn it.
really good speed game, and it's a very good game and a very good speedrun game.
Yeah,
Um,
it is
maybe not now
very
plus
fun.
straight is a thing. That sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Strat at the start where you bump off of the tree trunk on the left.
That's like world record strats. I'm not that good. It's like you jump and like get like a double jump off the pier and then go off of that that tree trunk right there. I think world record does it. Let's see. Oh, not that world
Malt.
record. Yeah, Malt. Yeah, jump
Half-Life 2.
off of that.
That's the world record all the way.
Fucking insane like strategy right there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I like this route. I feel like
Nice.
it's faster, but whatever. I don't get the jump off of that though. Whatever. Damn. But yeah, this is the mode I'm most excited for to play. And yeah, again, I'm making this game to play it. I love it. Oh, didn't get the jump again, but I got further this time. Damn it! Didn't get the jump there either. I'm trying to time jumps with when I'm like actually landing on the ground here. There's a little KZ rock climbing that I'm just gonna do here to showcase the rest of the map. Not excited for Trickster. I'm excited. Okay, I should clarify. I'm excited for every mode, cause like I'm gonna go one by one through all the modes and become a source movement legend. I mean, I say that jokingly, but like people could actually do that. Like, I have a feeling Ninja Cookie's most likely going to be the first one to be just awesome at all of them. So, you know, like it's oh fuck, fucking tunnel.
Anyone can be the
right.
momentum man.
I can't wait to see like some people's just like godly momentum profiles on the site. Like
Yeah,
people that have like managed to just like
average tier 6 for every game mode.
Oh yeah, I mean if you can be getting like group ones in every mode, I'm sure some people would be able to do that, but that's like something seriously impressive.
yeah.
Damn it. Oh, what? Oh, okay, I almost jumped over that. Yeah, it gets a little dark and spooky in here.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't have the fast zombies.
I know, right? They
Yeah,
spawn,
they're
just
just
block you like a death run map.
Yeah.
But Ahop is just honestly
one
it's
thing I
high
love
octane
about-
gameplay.
I'm probably slightly behind your stream, but this is Coastone 9, I want to say.
Yes.
After you
Yep.
come out to the fast zombie tunnel.
Yep.
In fact, the actual route that's fastest, I think, in momentum is actually really similar to the route in pretty similar.
Oh,
to the
damn
route in the Half-Life 2 run.
We'll get
It
back
just
there.
happens to be that going for a route that avoids all the full damage is pretty fast in momentum as well.
That was a cool redirect. I'm probably never gonna do that again. Oh my god. It was Ninja Cookie, a really awesome team member that is also really good at the game. And a great mapper too. There's a ton of really great maps. Yeah, overall awesome person.
To be honest, my favourite thing Ninja Cookie's done recently was on the
Oh shit.
the 090 trailer.
Yeah.
Where we made a map for like the first 17 seconds of the video.
Yeah.
Only 17 seconds, and we made like a bunch of fancy rooms, and I was working on it for several days and just like exhausted by it. And then Ninja came along and like detailed a bunch of it like brilliantly. And
Yeah.
made this whole starting area and everything. It was amazing. So yeah, all the cool stuff in that, the start of that video is made by Ninja.
Well, I do need to go eat dinner. I am actually really hungry, and we did kind of exhaust most of our questions. We are pulling up on the 3-hour mark, but we can end this one a little bit early. So, I guess while I search for somebody to, I'll spec while.
Yeah, I'm glad you like the portals, Trace.
Who's actually playing the map? All right, I'll just spectate Ray. Yeah. So, just kind of recapping here. All of the questions. We try to get them asked beforehand in our Discord. So, you know, if you have any questions for us for the next stream, please join our Discord, ask them in the Q&A live channel. It could be about technically anything. We will, filter out the shit though, so don't be too shitty. And yeah, I mean, I'm pumped for this game. I hope you guys are too. We are going to try to stream a little more frequently on this channel. We would like to get affiliate so we can get quality options and stuff. That'd be pretty pog, as well as our own emote and stuff. So yeah, I guess keep an eye out for that. But cool. So we'll go find somebody to raid here.
There's 2 people playing Momentum right now.
2 people.
One with more viewers than us, and one with 3.
One is
More
playing
viewers than us. What the heck?
One is playing CSS Bhop. They forgot to change their game, I think.
Oh damn. Okay. Oh, that's sad. I see. But is I think Batman's also streaming, doing some tasks.
Do like Batman streams. Those are really entertaining.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll raid Batman then.
Big gamer.
Cool. All right. So thank you all for watching and asking awesome questions. If you have any more questions, definitely check out our Discord. The link is in our bio. Momentum-mod.org for all of your momentum related stuff. And yeah, see you guys in the next stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, take care.